All right, this is Randalicious, and welcome to the 47th Hexis podcast. Let's get it going. I'm Randalicious, and I'm the leader of Hexis.
I'm Trickool, and I'm a general in Hexis.
Aubrey, Bronze Star, and Hexis.
I'm Raz, I'm a corporal in Hexis.
I'm Zoydberg, I'm the best boy in Hexis.
I'm Sheeran. I'm an Iron Man in Hexis.
Best boy, yeah, we had a poll go out on our Twitter account, and
50%.
yeah, you really steamrolled the competition there. I was a bit surprised by that, were you?
Nah, I'm best boy.
Quite a big hit for the rest of the team, though.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt staff morale.
I was
got
disappointed Dean didn't get many
demotivated
votes.
New boy on the block. All right. So we recently said goodbye to one of the mods, Mod Ed, who was a QA intern, and his internship is over. I don't know if they are gonna have him come back or anything like that. I know that they had Alfie. He came back after internship there, but over the last 3 or 4 months, however long Mod Ed was there, how'd you think he did?
I think the only thing that he did that I can say that's big was Winter Todd, which I love it. I think that was really well done. Although he had help from Maz on that, and I think who's the new artist, not Ghost, the other one. He did West. He did all the graphics and stuff, right? So he didn't play a big part, but for an intern, that's a big job. It's in the game permanently now. Fingers crossed. Other than that, I don't know anything that he did, so that's the only thing. He was good. He was just very quiet on the Q&As, and that's it. I hope he comes back though. Sorry, I hope he comes back.
I was gonna say, obviously because he's QA, it's more he does the testing, so the behind the scenes stuff we don't actually see. And I don't remember us complaining a hell of a lot about QA testing over the summer, so I assume he did fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him come back. I mean, you didn't really talk much on the podcast or anything, or the Q&As rather. But I think Winter Todd was a decent update. I don't really feel either way about it.
He certainly was head and shoulders above Day, who was a QA intern last year.
Yeah.
I think he did a damn good job with what he did and what he brought to the team. And um, the one thing that I don't like is just how dead of a meme, like people calling him Bodhi. That was never funny. And on the last Q&A that they had, the other mods were still calling him that. It was kind of like the Ronin bowl cut thing still being a joke 2 years after it's not even funny. But I thought he did a real good job. Yeah, I mean his big project that he had was Winter Todd. And although I don't really like the mechanics of Winter Todd and think that it's more so a mini game than anything else, it's very successful in what it's done, which has made people train fire making. And you know, it was a successful internship. He did a good job.
Yeah, not really a complaint, more of an observation, but I just think the internships are a little too short to really let them fully apply themselves. I'm probably going to say that they did do an alright job based on what Zoid said. Not really had many major complaints regarding bugs in content that's come out during that 3-month period he's been QAing, so did a good job on that, and look forward to seeing you again, Mod Boaty.
Oh.
Wow.
All right, so yeah, his baby was a Winter Todd. So I know we talked about this briefly, but we've got a newer crowd now, and everything with Winter Todd is kind of stabilized now, whereas they were changing up a lot of mechanics and drops with it the first couple days. But what do you guys think about Winter Todd as a whole now that we've kind of got a little bit longer than a couple days to break it down?
Well, it's definitely had a huge effect on fire making. I did it for about like a couple of days. I did 200 kills to get the full outfit, and the term skilling boss is definitely something that can very loosely be ascribed to it. It feels much more like a mini game, and I was kind of hoping it'd feel more like a boss fight, have more like it'd be more engaging, have more boss style mechanics than it does. I mean, it's definitely brought more interest to the skill. It's kind of turned it into just like another cooking though, which isn't, I don't know, doesn't really add much to the skill in my opinion, but at least people somewhat enjoy training it now. So the skill, in my opinion, was never really that big of a deal anyway, so making it easier doesn't really bother me too much, but I think it could have been a lot more interesting gameplay wise.
Yeah, it's nice for a Bible to finally have a go at being like proper turned on its head in terms of way it's trained. I mean, it went from a skill that lost you quite a lot of money to one that can potentially make you quite a lot of money if you take that the Wintertod way out. I know they have discussed other quote unquote skilling bosses, and whilst it has been successful, I personally wouldn't like to see more of them just because of its leans very much towards more of a mini game rather than a boss. And if all like skills were going to go in that direction, it's just sort of very too training-esque from RS3, where it's like a way to train the skill, but not a traditional way to train the skill. If you know what I mean? I'm just stubborn, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done it yet, but I might end up going there just to get the outfit, just to have it, or to get the bonus XP. But I was a little but like I remember they were saying it was gonna be a lot more like interactive and at least more click intensive than what it is. Like it definitely feels more like a mini game than a boss fight.
I personally love it. Like I've done like 500 kill count there. Now that I've got more than one torch and like more than one gloves, now that we've got over they exist, I think it's great. Like I do genuinely like it. It gives a more casual way to train, I suppose, which is kind of what they intended. The only thing is, because it's gone down so well, because it is like so well done and it is like balanced. Like there's definitely going to be talk about ones for like mining. That's another skill that people didn't like, or
Oh god.
even like because it's gone down so well, they're going to be like, people like skilling bosses, like bossing.
Yeah. Do you think that this has opened up the door for more updates very similar to it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can definitely see mining being one that they talk about, because if you think about the skills that people don't like training, there's fire making, mining, construction, like skills that are either very click intensive or you can't AFK or very costly. They're all going to become like skilling bosses in the future. I think like next year we're going to see at least another one or two. That'll be polled anyway, I personally think.
It's probably one of the most played pieces of content in 2016.
Yeah, I mean,
Besides
obviously,
maybe construction of it.
obviously, like it could have been more engaging because I do think he does set a standard for updates in the future, and it would be quite annoying if they made skills that were otherwise more difficult a hell of a lot easier. I think as it goes as like a fire making boss, it doesn't really have any feel to it that makes it fire making for me. Like you could take out the brazier and just put in like a catapult and you put rocks on it. It'd be the same boss exactly. You just train mining.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
You don't cut roots, you mine rocks.
Exactly. It doesn't really matter.
Write that
what you put
down
in there.
because I swear to God, if they ever come out with something like that, I want to come
Paint
back.
it quick.
I want to come back to this moment.
Yeah, I do wish they'd. I don't know what they could have done, but it's not really a skilling boss.
But then again, when you talk about bossing, I'm probably going to get loads of hate for this because it's very educated sort of response, but how many bosses are actually like majorly click intensive?
That's a good point.
None of them really.
It
Zora
depends.
and maybe
like,
Mole.
No.
If you, well, yeah, you got to run all over the place to find it.
at
No.
least bossing efficiently, a lot of it involves like switching prayers and that kind of stuff, which can be pretty involved. If anything, like pretty much any boss that you kill normally, you have to be paying attention, like thinking about what you're doing. And with Winter Todd, it's like fairly AFKable. Don't really need to worry about much of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said before, like Wintertodd has been very successful. They've done their goal for this. They fulfilled every expectation that they wanted to meet with Wintertodd. A lot of people love training it. Um, yeah, I wish the mechanics of it were a little bit different, but it's a successful update at the end of the day. So
And the fact that it's also on Zaya is also just another selling point of it. Because they need to fill that place up somehow.
yeah,
Make
Yep.
people go back.
No, I mean, I don't want to shit on it too much because I'm going to be doing it in like a week. Like, it's fun content. I did like 20 kills on my end, man. It's just, yeah, I wish it was more engaging as all.
yeah, but it does provide a nice alternative and has quickly changed fire making from the probably least trained skill to one of the most trained. And I think it absolutely does open up the door for more updates similar to it in the future. Alright, so taking a look at the still with Wintertide. How about looking at the drops and like the crates and the effects that it's had on the prices of seeds? What do you guys think about the impact that Wintertide has had on the economy?
It had a really convenient release around the same time as Farming Pet. You saw like the rubber band effect of them all instantly crashing, then going back up, or the other way around, whichever one came first. I don't fucking remember. But yeah, I mean, it dumped a load of things that weren't coming into the game too quickly, like maple seeds specifically. I think they crashed like 20% of their value, didn't they?
Something
They went
like
from like
Seeing someone like being unable to
45k
like
to like below 20k, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
they crashed a hell of a lot. But I mean, I don't really know what I'd rather it dropped, so I'm fine with it really. I think seed prices were getting quite high. Everyone was complaining.
yeah, didn't
Needs palm
didn't
seeds.
use go from like 90k to 30k?
Yeah,
Yep.
palm seeds is one we do need though. you're
Holy
right.
shit! Really?
Yeah.
palm seeds have like doubled in price over the past week. I don't really care about.
Oh, maples
sort
are
of stuff.
7k each now.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
Anything else notable? Purescence has gone down to like 6 and it's
Yeah.
usually 14.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
That's
I didn't
pretty
realize
fucking
that.
big.
One thing that it's really had a nice, I say nice, gold ore has dropped down quite a bit in GP. I lost probably like 100 mil or so on gold ore, because I was buying it all up pre blast furnace update, expecting it to jump up to like 700 each or something like that. And then Winter Tide comes out and, well, fucking drops it by like 100 GP. So it has had a pretty big impact on gold ore as well. It brings in the majority of gold ore now. So yeah, I mean it's had a huge impact. Oh yeah, Nick, you still owe me. It had a pretty big impact on the price of a lot of items.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fucked over the price of a lot of things. I think anything that changes the price of items that much is probably not a good thing. I mean, when prices of Bibles go down, usually I'm not exactly complaining, but when they like drop a crazy amount, it may be a little bit too much all at once. But I mean,
I don't think
cheaper
it's-
seeds is always nice.
I don't think it's that bad how much it actually drops. It's just the amount of people actually doing the boss,
Yeah, yeah.
which kind of just plays in the fact that it was, people like the content. It was good content. I think the shit drops. It doesn't actually give that much GP power, right? It's like 500k now at tops, right?
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure.
2 GP and XP profit, I think, over time.
Yeah, so 500, 600, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Zone, like Randy said, it came out around about the time of like the Blast Furnace update and the farming pet. It just like happened to come out with such a generous drop table for certain things at the same time other things that use those items were being like quality of life or something like that. So I mean, it's good, but at the same time, a lot of stuff has like it's not just dropped. It's like it's hit rock bottom. I mean, if they could have done that for palm seeds, I'd have been fine, But I'm gonna start doing U seeds and stuff soon. I mean, I think they're like 28k at the minute or something. Maybe they've gone back up. I mean, that's U seeds.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Farming XP.
I mean, they were what 80k? I want to
Yeah,
say
easily.
before the
They were
update.
more expensive than magics at one point when Zola
Yeah.
was still dropping 2 magic seeds.
But they're
Yeah.
only like
On its
half the
table.
XP of Magic Seeds, though. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna take an extra 2 years for 200 mil farming. I don't know.
I mean, you're gonna get 200 mil farming regardless if you play the game. So for like half the price, actually, it'd be less than half the price.
Yeah, I'd rather spend extra money and get it done sooner
Magic
and have to
seeds
do fewer
on
farms.
Yeah,
Magic
But I
seeds
guess
aren't
you're
even that
probably
bad
right.
at the moment. It's the palms that are the bad ones.
Yeah.
Are you guys
Yeah, I
surprised
mean-
how many people are still killing Wintertodt?
Not at
No.
all.
Not
Not
Yeah.
really, no.
It's great.
It's
for Iron Man.
ideal content for casuals.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Good XP, good money, low effort.
Yep.
Do you think these are updates that we should be having to the game though?
No.
Not too quickly. I
Not
really think there's a
personally,
rush.
but
Yeah, I really think there's a rush to say like, oh, fire making got this, mining should get this too. There really doesn't need to have like every single skill filled up with something like this in the next year.
The Hexis Corporation will put a pound in the jar every time the Winter Todd is referenced to upcoming content.
Yeah. Yeah, so I really hope they don't rush and think like, okay, we're going to make more content because other skills need this stuff, because it doesn't. Like, it's let's slow down.
Like, I'm just hearing myself in my head think Archie just saying similar to the Winter Todd boss. And it's making me want to.
It's going to be every week from now on, similar to the Winter Todd boss.
Alright. So another update that recently came out was automatic blast, or not even automatic, but NPCs dwarfs were added to Blast Furnace to prevent players from griefing. Couple workers here, I think their names are Pumpy, Dumpy, and Stumpy.
I didn't know they had names.
And, hey, Pumpy's the guy who works the fucking pump.
No
I'm
shit.
glad they put them the right way around.
Alright, shit, where are they going with that? Alright, yeah, have any of you guys tried out Blast Furnace with this new update? But if you haven't, what do you think about the update as a whole?
I only did it a little bit. I haven't actually done any gold at all. I just tested out a little bit with other bars. Like, you still have to repair the furnace. You just don't have to, like, run it. So it still can be somewhat imperfect. But it's pretty good, and it's definitely the best way to do smithing and doing gold there now. It's not even expensive, or not that expensive anymore either.
Oh no, yeah,
So,
it's gotten cheap.
yeah, it's a pretty big change to smithing.
so is it like better than when clans were running it?
By better, you can do it for as long as you want, whereas before you would have like
Also player dependent.
you'd have like an hour shift, and there'd be like a
Oh,
10-15 minute break while they set something up, and then another hour shift, and so on. Whereas now you can just hop on and do it through the entire day.
yeah. I mean, I guess that sounds like a better thing than what it was. So I'm fine with it. But I probably won't do it. Just do bars and stuff.
And I was doing this yesterday, and it was really, really pissing me off because these NPCs don't repair everything. Now, this is such an overpowered update, and I don't think that it's good for the game, just because of how much of a game changer it is. But I don't like that they added these NPCs, but they don't even man all the machinery. I'm gonna end up bringing an alt up here just to man the other things that need to be repaired. Yesterday it was like 15 times throughout the hour, you're sitting there for like 5+ seconds because something was down. And
So the difference is like there's certain things that you have to, like the pumps and all that stuff that you have to run to make the machine go, and then the machine can also break, and they run the machine, but they don't repair when like the pipes burst and all that kind of stuff. That people still have to do that. So it's like they're two separate things, but yeah, they didn't make it 100% perfectly automated. You still have to have people interact with it a little bit. It just can't be crashed. There was only the pedals and pumps and stuff that could cause the furnace to actually be crashed.
yeah, I guess when I heard them say they were going to be adding in NPCs, I just assumed they would man all the machinery, not just a couple of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
So it's still really OP, but not as OP as it could have been.
Yeah, they've just made it more consistent. Like you said, clans would do like an hour shift, then they'd take a 20-minute break, then they'd maybe run for another hour, get a crash. Like, all it's done is just made it more consistent. Like, you can do it all day now. You've still got to repair the thing, but it won't be long before this clan's charging like 20k an hour to sit there and fix it, or something like that. Or you could just use an alt. So,
I'm at Blast Furnace right now, and I couldn't tell you how many hundreds of people are currently here. Pretty much, you're just banking that one of these guys is gonna repair it.
yeah, I was watching your stream. I know what it is. I don't know. Like, it's made me think about doing it. I'm probably not. Like, if I do smithing, I will probably still do rune. But if bars aren't buying, I could just go get like 1k gold ore or 2k gold ore and go there and chill until bars buy. So, because I'm not like relying on a clan. So.
Hey Randy, I see you're on 58 though. You know they added an American one.
Yeah, I know, but there's, as I was saying, there's so many hundreds of people here that you gotta bank on someone else
Oh,
doing
so
it.
it's worth it to. Okay, I got you.
In 86, I was in 86 earlier today. There might have been 30 people there. There's at least 200 to 300 people currently here right now. 86 would probably be a good idea if I had an alt up here repairing the pipes and stuff. That's something I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to
that's what
look.
I'd probably do if I was doing it. Just take it
Yeah,
all.
that's something that I'm gonna have to look into in the future because obviously, yeah, an American world would be better. But
The OS Buddy plugin makes it really easy to see where the broken pipe is.
yeah, their plugin for Blast Furnace is actually really good. All right, moving on. So another update that happened in the last couple weeks was the last location being added onto fairy rings. Aubrey, you made a video on this, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Tell us about the comparison between the two.
Well, I tested out, timed it out and everything, and it seems like it's extremely close to Abyss within like a few ticks at most per lap difference. Though there were a lot of comments saying that a slightly different route, like going a little bit north of the trees at first instead of later, is faster. I haven't gotten around to testing that yet, but if it is like 1 or 2 ticks faster, then that might push fairy rings over. But basically, they're the same, like very, very close to the same XP rate, and with fairy rings, it's a lot lower risk because you only do an abyss run every like 9th or 10th to repair your pouches. So I think it's actually pretty nice because it's not really changing the metagame that much or anything, but it's just another option for people who have spent enough time to get a quest cape to be able to do Nats without dealing with PKers, basically.
I assume you also use more staminas doing the fairing method, just about.
Probably, yeah. That's a good point.
No, I mean, this is one of those things that, it's like the Dragon Short Sword. Like, we've had a lot of requests for this update, and it's one of those things that I think slipped under, and nobody even considered the possible consequences.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm glad that this didn't push it to be obviously better than Abyss Nats.
I was expecting it to be significantly better, like at least
Yeah, well, worried
1
it
or
would be, at
2k
least.
an hour more.
But yeah, I'm glad I saw somebody was doing Apatol shit, just doing laps of Apatol with fairy rings, and that's apparently the best pet rate.
Yeah, that's like 57k an hour agility also, so it's
That's cool.
best XP till 87.
Yeah.
No, I guess it's a nice quality of life thing that doesn't really affect us. So who gives a shit?
Well, actually, someone here put it in the chat. So it would sound, I would at least believe that people doing the method with the fairy rings, if they don't have 99's agility and mining, it would be a lot better for them to do this method.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So, I mean, it has a pretty big impact on a lot of people. I'd say most people, really.
Yeah, probably does. You're right.
I mean, yeah, I think this is one of those updates that you just want people really didn't anticipate it having this big of an impact. Yeah, thankfully it's not like some 32, 33k an hour, some shit like that, but
Other than like going away from the agility and the rune crafting and stuff, because like there's better ways to train agility and it's the same rune crafting. For stuff such as like KQ or Sire, if you use fairy rings, it's made it more convenient for that, which is I think what they were going for with like quality of life. You know, like just saving maybe like 5 seconds when you bank, but like the knock-on effect it had with rune crafting now. Also, if you're not 99 mining or agility, it is faster. You use more staminas, but it's a bit quicker. I'd probably still use the Abyss though, just because I'm used to that. Nice update, but I mean, I'm just glad that it didn't like fuck up anything. Like nothing springs to mind that it might have like increased by, you'd notice the difference type thing.
Yeah, I think actually I just remembered something I saw is that somebody mentioned on Reddit that this would have been a really good reward from a potential quest, and they've kind of squandered being able to give it as a reward now, which is a really good point. Like if they ever released, Fairy Tail Part 3 was a thing in RS2, right?
Yeah.
We've already
This
got
would
the
have been a
reward
really
from
good
that,
reward
though.
from that.
Infinite watering cans and
Got rid of the orcs in the fairy pass.
And you didn't have to use the staff in Part 3, but we've
Yeah.
already got that,
That's
so
money.
this would have been a really good replacement for that.
Yeah, that's a good
But
point.
oh well.
alright, so moving on, we're gonna start talking about a few things that were at RuneFest. We wanted to get, we had a couple of guys in Hexis who were at RuneFest. Rig was there, Brungus was there.
why have you done that?
What?
Leave it as it is. It's fine as it is.
Oh, you bitch. Alright, we really wanted to get one of those guys to come on, but didn't happen. So we'll talk about just us from an outside point of view. Looking at the first thing that was showed off was the Inferno Cape. If someone could put the link in the chat, we got 5 different options for the Inferno Cape. I think the 5th option looks the best. A lot of people, I think, talk about the shoulder pads, saying, oh, they don't like it, but I think it looks fine, and I'm very impressed with what Ghost did. I think he did a phenomenal fucking job on this. Yeah, this is going to be the new best in slot cape which comes out with Jad 2, which still has to pass a poll. But
Yeah. I reckon the
talk about
third
the
one
cape.
looks the best. But the thing I don't get is, didn't we already talk about this shit? Like, Jad 2 was already talked about like a long time ago. Like,
Oh man,
why did they talk about it again?
hold
A
on.
year ago?
There's if you search my Twitter real quick, do the advanced search and search by keyword October, you can find Ghost's draw up of the Inferno Cape October
Yeah.
14th, 2014.
Exactly, and like we already knew. What was it? 2017 January was Part 3 was there, right?
What Just Outrays are supposed to be June 2016, but
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Australian servers early August.
yeah,
But they didn't say which year.
Yeah, which
That's a good point, yeah.
they didn't say which year. You're right. Holy fuck.
Well, hang on, were we talking about what we think of the idea of best in slot mana keep as well?
Yeah, just give your whole opinion about
You ain't gonna
Jad-
get another chance.
yeah, Jad 2, the
Surge out.
capes.
I mean, I think of the standard Hexis response of like rather not, but if people really want, like, it's gonna pass anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter what we say. But one thing I will say is I really don't want to do
It
Jad 2.
never fucking matters what we say. We're just a
Yeah.
bunch of jackasses
No,
with
but,
some mics.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't want to do another Jad. Like, I'm not good at PVM. I don't pretend I am, and honestly, I'm not going to be able to kill it. So I'm really not looking forward to that.
Yeah, I like option 5 the best, though I would like it better if it was no shoulder pads, I think. Just like
That's
a
option
fire
3
cape
then.
with some. Well, it looks a little bit different. I don't know. Yeah, I mean that general idea. I don't like shoulder pads, but I like the idea of like the dark obsidian and just like bits of lava showing in between. Um, yeah, it looks pretty cool. I do like the idea of like a actually difficult PVM challenge in old school. It'll be interesting to see how difficult they can actually make it because nobody in the office could kill Zulrah, and Zulrah is kind of challenging at first, but not really
Hey,
that difficult.
that is one nasty snake to handle.
Yeah,
I think
it'll be cool
Captain
to see
King's
the
kill was
combo.
better than yours.
Yeah, probably was. 6 minutes and 55 fucking seconds.
I'll sign you up for stud. I think all five options for the capes are all shit. I honestly don't know why they don't just go with the original Rhino cape. Like, that is the Jad 2 cape that everybody knows.
Is that the triangle on top of triangle on top of
Yeah,
triangle?
yeah.
That
Yeah.
thing looks
I
like
did really like
that
that
thing looks like layers of poop.
I
think
was
it
so
looks
proud
upside
of
down
having
black
that.
Christmas tree. It
That,
looks
that,
great.
that cape design was so bad, it was only in the game for like 3 weeks before they changed it to cape lickers.
Yeah, but dude, I fucking loved
I
it.
think it was longer than that. I don't know. I liked it. It was
Yeah.
cool.
I actually had the Rhino capes. So I was like, they're
Yeah, me
prestigious and
too.
stuff walking around with it because not many people had it because no one like had any idea how to do it. So
Yeah.
Was it actually called the Rhino Cape, or is that like a nice name for it?
No, people just
It's
call it
called
that.
Zill?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
Zill?
Killing cape or whatever the fuck it was, I don't even remember. It was just called the Rhino cape.
Yeah,
That was a Rune Shark podcast
Yeah,
joke from ages ago.
yeah.
The fuck are these servers right now? Is anybody else DC?
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
like,
No issues all day.
No, I'm
I've
fine.
been having a
was lagging
slight
earlier.
delay at Blast Furnace. But
Or 2 on the other side of the world.
Yeah, I was gone. All I wanted to say was I think all the capes are shit. Jad 2 is gonna fail, and
Was
I
it
think
already
it'll
polled?
definitely It was polled and it
I think it
failed.
was.
But it's gonna
It
be
was-
So what are they
re-polled.
doing?
no.
It's-
Alright, so
It's gonna be re-polled and it'll pass.
Honestly, why do we have a polling system? Like, they don't care. They're just going to keep polling until it passes this. Why
Yeah.
not just introduce it?
so
We
I
all
remember
understand.
it's like when it was polled, it failed, and then everyone was like, "Well, you know, like we can't just have a fire cape forever." You had like 50% saying the fire cape's too newbie, and then you had the other 50% saying, "I've never gotten a fire cape. I can't."
Why
kill
can't we have a
Jad."
fire cape forever? Who cares?
Right, and
I love
so
Fire Cape.
Fire cape forever.
when it failed, Mod K, I remember the stream. I would not be able to find it, but I remember the stream. He turned around and said, "We're just going to bring it out in January."
What? Not?
Did not say anything
I
else.
think
It's
the
like, right,
original-
it failed. It's coming out in January, and
I think-
that was the start of the year.
Wait, say Aubrey?
I'm pretty sure the original one had like a magic and range cape too, though, didn't it? Like that's
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
A green one, a
yeah.
red one, and a blue one. But they all
I think
have
that might
like
have been part
rocks.
of why.
No, I
it
don't
didn't
get
pass
why
first
either.
time.
I think if those other capes were pulled, they might have a chance to
Honestly, in total, how many fucking fire capes is Ghost designed? Seriously.
pass. Oof.
Poor guy.
It's gotta,
And how many
it's
of them
gotta
have
be
been
close
shot
to
down?
double. It's gotta be close to double digits. I'd have to think by this time. Like his first one was 2 years ago.
If you include the 3 variants of the previous capes that were pulled like a year ago, that's 9.
God.
Well, no, he didn't design all 5 of these. Just the one on the far right.
Alright,
Oh, that's
alright.
true.
Oh, you pick Ghosts, Randy?
Yeah.
That's the biggest compliment he's got ever, I think.
Well,
Hey.
it's. Look
People,
at them.
people. Hey, he did a damn good job. I'll give it when it's earned.
But he didn't, though.
I think that's a good looking cape.
No, he just took option 3 and put fucking shoulder pads on it.
They are the same. I don't know. Yeah.
It's good.
The thing, I don't really like any of them. My biggest pet peeve is the 2 and 4
Yeah, those ones
straight
are especially
straight
awful.
lines on a fire cape. No,
Honestly, I'd love
Hang
for
on,
option
the
2
fourth
to
So-
come
one
out.
looks like the inverted obby cape.
he designed half a fire cape and then mirrored it. That's disgusting. And the option 2, ooh, that's bad.
That option 2 was so wide before they had to make it not looking as wide.
If Jad 2 does get pulled and it comes out, I want it to come out with option 2.
I
I
just-
fucking
I would
love
have- I would
that to
happily
come out.
I would happily have a fire cape with a number 2 on it. That would be better.
Just a big 2.
Yeah, just a big 2.
I think you're onto something there.
But I'm not a
As
fan
long
of
as
the
it's
whole
purple.
Jad 2 idea. It's stupid, but something that they did like spontaneously discuss at RuneFest was sort of Jad that keeps on wing. That'd be
Oh,
alright.
the endless thing.
Yeah,
That would be
so kill Jad, but that's not it. You just keep going if you really want to see how far you can get. I'm not sure how it'd work out because going by Fight Cave standards, that wouldn't you'd have a Jad every wave, followed by like a 22, two 22s and a Jad, a 45 and
Yeah.
a Jad.
And then they could do like a 1-2-6
It'd
waves
be a
thing. That would be
bit
cool
fucking
though. Like,
ridiculous.
people would like that. I can imagine Wooks pulling like 20k viewers trying to go for the full thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Probably not 20k.
I think
That's a bit
that's
of an
a really
exaggeration.
good
But
idea,
Do it
and I
like,
don't know why that's not how it is.
I would definitely support that. I think I'd never do it, but I would like to watch people do it.
yeah,
Another expansion on existing content, and it's
Yeah.
a new challenge. It's fresh, and
They don't even
It's
have
the
to
same
give any
content,
rewards
but
for it.
it's
Honestly,
fresh.
people would do it just to do it.
yeah.
yeah. It could be like Dominion Tower. That capped at, what was it, 255 or something on like
Yeah.
endurance?
As long as you could just show off how far you've gone, people would do
Yeah.
it.
All right. Anyone got any more for talking about the Inferno?
I'll just say, like, my personal preference, I'd like it to have maybe a reddish color to kind of match the Prim Boots and the Dragon Defender, but it's not a huge deal to me.
Fashionscape. We got one of those
Yeah.
guys over here.
It'd match my crab core as well.
And would it be combinable with the Max Cape? It's also an
Oh,
important.
they already said no.
What?
I know, yeah.
It's gonna be so awkward.
I'll be sticking to my Fire Cape then, I think.
It's alright because we're getting the customizable customizable Max Cape in like late 2018. They said so. We're alright.
Oh, great.
I
Not
can't
that
wait.
Far away, boys.
Couple
Don't
years.
say things like that.
They promised.
Isn't that
Trickool, they promised.
terrifying?
But
I would just get a customizable comp cape.
No, they can't do that. I'm going on Reddit. How will I know what a max cape is if I'm in the wilderness fighting someone?
Oh my god.
Exactly.
What if I think I'm fighting an Ava's accumulator and all of a sudden this kid AGS's me with a fire cape? That's fucking out of order.
Yeah. Do you think? Hold on. One more thing. Do you think that adding in Jad 2 is kind of with a better fire cape is like a lazy way of introducing new content?
Yes.
Probably. I mean, the thing is, people say like it's lazy and that's copying RS3, but people like the stuff from RS3 is the reason they do it. It's what they know and they
the
enjoy
thing
it.
with RS3 is that it wasn't Jad 2. It was the Carl,
The kiln thing.
octopus thing.
But it was Jad 2, though, wasn't it?
It was Harker.
Yeah, Harken. But they're honestly just doing Jad again. It's just stupid.
No, do you not remember the gif of it? It was like a big training dummy with
It
four arms
was-
that span round in a circle.
It was like a blender.
Yeah, I remember the art for it now.
Oh shit! Wait, was that the one that like ran toward? No, that was the demonic gorilla.
It was big. It was
the
big
big
and red.
the demonic gorilla's early concept was like a dog with worms.
Oh, speaking of art, right? You know what? I'm so sad they didn't use the concept art for Winter Todd. I hope they use it for Jad 2.
We'll see. You gotta submit that. Post that on Reddit. Try to gain some support. All right, so let's move on to the next topic. Another thing that was discussed at RuneFest is Fossil Island. So Fossil Island is gonna be a little island coming out north of Mauritania, and says like it'll have like an archaeological expedition, and I don't know why, but it says it was originally designed in 2006. I guess it's just some
Yeah,
content that
Maz landed it in 2006 apparently, but they never went through with it.
But they never even talked about it because I've never heard anything about this.
I wonder
Yeah.
why it
They're
never
lying
came
to
out.
us.
But
Yeah, like
with Fossil Island, some things that they're like some selling points for this are you'll uncover the history of wyverns and god wars, and the
Ooh.
island will have expansions to hunter, mining, agility, fishing, slayer, prayer, and combat, filling those gaps. Uh, you know,
Thank God.
oh, I got more for you. Hold up. New player-owned house room, creatures, and like some hyper compost, and
Exactly
new
what this
middle
game
tier
needs.
weapons and armor.
Good God, does it
So,
end?
I guess I'm gonna make the question up here on the spot. You know,
Christ.
what do you think about Fossil Island? What are you expecting for these expansions to be? To hunter, mining, agility, fishing, slayer, prayer, and combat, and just overall, what are you expecting? What do you think about this?
Sounds like a mining and skilling boss to me. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they mentioned mining, agility, and fishing. Those are three skills that I really like and have trained / want to train more. And if they've ruined them, that's gonna suck because that's like most of the skills that I actually like ever want to train in this game. Uh, so yeah, it makes me a little bit nervous, but hopefully it won't be anything like replacing existing best methods and stuff like that.
Just you guys
God
wait
knows.
until. Just you guys wait until there's an underwater agility boss.
I think that's
Yeah, I really
somewhere
hope they don't
else.
do like a level 95 agility course that makes Brimhaven dead, because that would be sad.
Play it, Todd. Oh,
And yeah,
God.
what the fuck are the gaps in Slayer?
Oh, the gaps in combat as well. Like, what the fuck? What gaps are there?
No, Hunter. What?
E-
Hunter's
everything,
like one of
there
the
are no
only
gaps.
skills
I
that has
get maybe
content
prayer.
at 99.
Yeah.
There's still gaps in it, they think, for some fucking reason.
There's room for high level hunter content that doesn't profit and is a bit faster than Chin's, I would say, and that's the only thing I think of that really
Yeah.
fits in like anywhere.
White
But they won't do
salamanders are
that.
not a meme.
Oh no.
Okay, so forgive me for being a bit cynical.
No, sea turtles. It was sea
Sea
turtles,
turtles.
wasn't it?
No, we'll hunt whales on a boat.
Yeah.
XD.
Yeah.
I pray to God that doesn't actually become a thing.
I mentioned it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, on the Runefest thing, oh god.
But yeah, like I'm obviously going to be cynical, but I mean, we've already had one big island with like loads of unknown new treasures to explore, and it's shit. So I'm going to be a bit cynical in voting for this. I don't see why they can't just keep putting stuff on Zaya, because they keep saying that they want to fill out Zaya, but then they're talking about doing this. Like, I don't know, they're very ambitious with their ideas.
They only like this idea because it comes off as so like innocent, but they're gonna deface it with all of the new school content.
Yeah. Uncover the history of the Wyverns and God Wars. Why doesn't the history of God Wars go in God
I've
Wars?
been kept awake many a night as how Wyverns and God Wars came to be.
Yeah.
I get God Wars, but why Wyverns?
Yeah,
Who gives a shit why
that's-
Wyverns are
Wyverns are fossil dragons, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
there?
Holy shit.
New POH room. Okay. We just
did.
got two though.
Oh,
like,
that's like your architecture room, so you can show off all the goodies you've digged up.
Your fossils.
Yeah.
fossils. Creatures and compost. Why do we have a new
Morsels per
compost?
patch.
What, like,
A hyper compost.
was it just like literally just going to be super compost but
better
better?
fucking glow.
Yeah, it'll be better than super compost.
A minimum
Right.
of 7 herbs per herb run if it passes, and
Minimum?
works the way. Yeah, it works the same way that
Interesting.
super compost does. Every patch that lives will be 7 herbs minimum.
Yeah.
Considering the average at the moment is 7.5 with secateurs and farming cape. Oof.
The minimum right now with regular compost is 5, or with super compost is 5, with regular compost is 3, so it makes sense for it to go up to 7 if they added a new one. But
Interesting.
yeah.
Middle tier weapons and armor. Like, this is one of those things that like every time they say we've had so many requests for the Dragon Short Sword, everyone laughs because nobody's asking for middle tier weapons and armor.
Didn't they show in the data that everyone wanted like high tier armor and like PvP or PvM kind of stuff?
Yeah, probably.
I
Yeah,
want to stop
yeah.
you there. In the data that had no numbers or charts.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
No, guys.
Up, I think.
You
Simmer down.
deleted the fucking picture.
No, simmer down.
did.
They literally said.
Oh yeah, I don't want to talk about Dead Man anymore. It's fucking boring.
All right, real quick then. They literally said the community doesn't want PvP updates.
Yeah, I remember.
So naturally, we're gonna get at least 3 new fucking combat mini games this year.
It went like so from the data you can see that not many people enjoy PvP, but there's a select group of people that do. So last man standing. So dead man mode.
Yeah, like
Is
Yeah.
technical.
And the next thing we're getting is that gladiator arena thing, right?
Yeah,
No,
that's
No,
No,
I
they
think that's
scrapped
scrapped.
it.
They
Really?
scrapped that. That
They
was
said they
supposed
put
to be
most of
last
the
month.
mechanics of LMS.
Oh.
It was gonna have those kind of mechanics.
Like, a lot of my friends are PKs, so they always, like, bitch and moan at me and shit, like, skill a nerd, you know, like, fucking, we want PvP updates, and it's like, you get more PvP updates than we get skilling updates, and that's, like, the least
We don't
desired
want
thing.
skilling updates. Well, I
Speak
don't.
for
Yeah,
your-
that's true,
Speak
we
for your
don't.
fucking self, mate, I do. Damn right, I want that underwater agility boss. You think I'm doing fucking
You
hardcore?
you only
Fucking
wanted to
high.
tweet about it.
Yeah, that's so.
All right. Trickool, you need to go and find some of those things that were deleted because there is. I want to at least
There
take
was
a look.
one.
Just Control Z.
It was a squiggly line.
That we gotta break down that squiggly fucking line. We just gotta
Get the
break it
glasses on,
down.
boys.
Did he ever do his data stream that was promised?
No!
No, Ronan and Archie did it.
Oh my god.
Oh, geez.
All
That
right.
was the greatest thing ever.
All right, so taking a look at Fossil Island, I think that this new player-owned house room is gonna be where you show off your fucking fossils. I think that mining is going to be a really big thing. Like you're mining for fossils. Look for that to be the a mining mini game where you find fossils. Oh, there we go. Call it right now.
Hooray.
That's my prediction for it.
Oh, there'll be a mining minigame, yeah.
Yeah, I just with fossils and mining, I just don't see how those two don't just work like that. But
Mining Todd.
Do you have a prediction on the XP rates of that, or?
Nah,
Go
not
enough.
really. I'm not really
Right,
sure
I
what
found it.
All right, add this
Yay.
big squiggly line.
Bro, just keep talking. Keep talking.
All right.
Uh,
The hyper compost isn't a bad idea, but I can't believe that's one of the selling points for it. The middle tier weapons and armor, I thought I had a picture talking about it. What they want to do is they want to introduce like
I've got that as well.
yeah, put that up there real quick. They want to introduce like a full obsidian
Does.
set. Where's the link for it?
Oh, is this that thing that was
That's your
60
squiggly
tier?
line.
oh yeah, the full
It was
obsidian
just
armor.
it was steel armor with like some earmuffs on it or something, wasn't it?
Was this the thing that was supposed to be the same level as Dragon that wasn't going to devalue Dragon?
Yeah.
So what does it do?
it's- I think it's gonna have like a strength bonus or something, maybe.
Oh, less defense bonus then.
Yeah.
That's okay, I guess, because there really isn't anything between like nothing and Bandos, so that's okay, I guess.
Don't you dare try and devalue my fighter torso.
Yeah, but yeah, good point. Yeah, good point.
Only cost me
Or the
12 mil.
barrack skirt.
My response on Fossil Island would have been the exact same, regardless of what you asked me, Randy. If you type into Google right now, Fossil Island, and you click on the RuneScape wiki, if you go down to trivia, it literally says, Fossil Island was referenced in the 2014 April Fool's event. It could be seen as a destination reachable at level 120 sailing. That is my answer to Fossil Island. It was a fucking April Fool's joke regarding sailing.
Sailing itself was an April Fool's joke, and then it got pulled.
Shh, save yourself, it's coming.
Fucking spoilers.
Honestly, it's a real issue.
I don't really understand why they're trying to come out with a small little island like this. I just feel like they should at least put it onto Zaya.
Yeah, I don't like that it's there. It could easily just be off the coast of Zaya and make it look a little more natural.
I think they're trying to put it like over in like the eastern lands just to kind of make it seem maybe kind of familiar almost. Try to make it not be so out there and
Why are they trying to play mind games? Can they just? I don't know.
I
Well,
Well,
Put
that
it
that's
area
like,
someplace.
that was a black area on the map. Also, I think they're maybe trying to fill in those places where
Okay,
the map just
that makes
ends.
sense.
Yeah, they're doing that with Weiss.
Yeah.
there's like there's a couple islands around that area too from some other quests that are pretty dead as well, like Dragon Tooth Island or something.
Harmony.
Yeah.
There's your Abiyama and your squiggly line, by the way.
Thanks. You had a chance to talk about Fossil Island yet?
Oh yeah.
Alright, wasn't really listening to you, so. Alright, we got the last 12 months of players, and we have a squiggly line.
Look at those members.
Look at.
I'm gonna put it in the chat now.
It's a very odd progression of months, isn't it?
Oh, just did that.
Randy.
Alright, what do you guys think about that fucking thing?
Why can't they just put a y-axis on it? Like,
It's pretty ugly.
who are they fooling?
Do you like that they're hiding how many players there are?
I don't see why they need to. Like, what does it accomplish?
Yeah, like we all know that, like, what is it, like, what, 50k players online in, like, on a high point at any given time. So how many members do you think there are? Like, a few 100,000?
I really don't know. I don't like that they're keeping that hidden.
Yeah.
All you need to know is as the months increase, the amount of people playing RuneScape does too.
Yeah, pretty much it.
You know, when you're in hospital and like they've got those heartbeat monitor things. That's all that's been going through my head, man.
I was thinking like a glow stick kind of thing.
It's like a laser pen on fucking acid.
We really should have done some more research on this because they say retained with content at key times. I really would like to. I'm going to spend some time looking at the content that was released on these low points and see which content was shit according to this graph.
Well, quite clearly, everyone came back for the Christmas event and then dipped, and then everyone came back for the Easter event and dipped, and then everyone came back for the summer and then dipped.
Yeah.
What my spreadsheet's telling me.
Yeah, this isn't the first time we've seen absolute dog shit graphs with lines from. You guys remember that the predictions for players with
Oh, how could
bonds
you forget?
without
Yeah.
like
Pointless
what would have happened without bonds, what we thought would happen with bonds, what actually happened, or free to play.
That was it, yeah.
It had that
was
was that was one of the worst looking graphs I've ever seen in my life.
Was that the roller coaster graph?
I don't think it was a roller coaster at all. Nah, it was
I don't remember that one. I remember one where it was like a roller coaster, like something out of fucking Alton Towers.
it was like a fucking year and a half ago or so, something like that.
Oh, yeah, Average,
It had
Average has made a good point in the chat. There's a player graph on CML that you can look at.
yeah, but
But,
like
this was so pointless.
this I mean is they're taking it from like
this
total
thing?
paying members. Hold on, this thing. Let's see. How did you find it that fast?
That's it. Yeah, no, that's not the one that was going through my mind now.
Holy shit! I'm putting it in the chat there. That's
Beat you to it,
beautiful.
boy.
That's beautiful. In the worst way possible. Holy shit. Yeah. I just can't believe that a multi-million-dollar company. This is the best graph we can get with some data on the people that like. He's got to be laughing when he's
Like,
making
his selling
that
point
graph.
is data. Why
It's
can't he give us
really
data?
fucking interesting as well.
Yeah, like this would be
half-assed about it.
great information to know. I would really like it. Jesus. Anyone got anything more to talk about this graph? Or are you surprised that how the player base has been growing like that at all?
Nah.
Or Matt K's claim that the new players are driven by Dead Man mode. That I I don't know how much I want to believe it, but at the same time, I know that they have had really big events for it, and like I'm sure it has brought in a bunch of people. But
Yeah, I'm sure there is some truth to it.
He's like super biased towards Deadman mode
I,
though.
I
Yeah, he
don't
is
I
really
don't I
biased,
don't
but I'm sure
think
there is
Dead
some
Man
truth to it.
mode has been the biggest factor for players.
I think some of the dips are like exaggerated on it. That doesn't make sense to me.
they see Deadman mode on Twitch and they come in and they play it and they realize that it sucks and then they just play the normal game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely true.
And the reason for the is they see it, they play it, they die, they cancel.
Yeah, which
Yeah, that's a terrible graph. It at least looks better than the other ones that we've seen in the past, but all right, let's move on to the raids part. So last, all right, hold on. I want this to also be a predictions. 'Cause last year at RuneFest, like raids were talked about last year at RuneFest, and we're still months away from raids now. And do you have any predictions for anything that was talked about at RuneFest that they're not going to release in the next year and we'll still be talking about a year from now?
Jad
Ooh.
2.
Yeah,
I
probably
can
Jad
vote
2.
Fossil Island.
Australian servers.
They did a very good job of not mentioning that.
Yeah. All right. I don't really think we need to talk about raids that much. What do you guys think? Unless anyone has any.
100 people? Isn't that a bit excessive?
I'd be shocked if more. I'd be shocked if a month after raids came out, you'd see teams of 100.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care. I would say I'd be quite surprised at this point if they're released before like December.
Yeah, they seem like they're still
I
a
think
while away.
Anywhere past March 2017 would be impressive.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think raids are coming out this year. I mean, all the rewards failed anyway, so all
That's a
the
good
good
point.
ones.
Yeah.
So it would literally be like,
Well, we got the most asked for reward.
They can't release it without any rewards. It'd lose all of its energy.
Hey,
Yeah.
people are really sleeping on how fucking ridiculously overpowered that Kodai wand is.
Yeah.
It is. That is such a great piece of content. But people are still gonna want this armor. They'll tweak it in some way to make it pass. See, like on
Yeah.
there it said like where is it? Like they need to do more work on the armor. I don't know.
they'll do what they always do. They'll pull it with like, so it just looks utter shit. So it just looks like Rune, and it will get in the game, and then they'll just buff it.
Yeah, maybe. I really feel like they just the way they went about designing this was really stupid because they've gone into it with like, oh yeah, people want bosses. So they said like, what is it, 10 new bosses, and now they can't get shit to like for them to drop. Like they may have just wasted loads of time. Like they're not going to waste up, so they're going to put it into the game anyway. So we're going to end up with something nobody really wants.
Yeah, do you think any of these bosses? Now I know they talked about adding pets to them. I think it's kind of shitty that none of these bosses seem like they're going to have any unique drops themselves.
Yeah.
I feel like the now I know I'm gonna be getting a little bit ahead of myself here when I talk about this, but some of the drops from Imbued Slayer, or I'm sorry, Superior Slayer, like the Imbued Heart, the Dust and Mist Staff.
Yeah, they could have gone in raids. Exactly.
Yeah, like they I feel like it'd be much better into something like that.
And this is what like it ties into earlier like, about the fairy ring thing. Like they come up with ideas that people like. Why can't they just hold off and release them with something they wanted to? Like, there's loads of shit that's like come out over the past year that they could have attached to raids instead of releasing them on their own.
Yeah.
That's a good point. They don't think ahead with something, is it?
Yeah, they really don't. No, but I also got the impression that this is about uniques. I got the impression that it was like a dungeon crawl thing, so you'd go through the dungeon and kill everything, and then at the end you'd all get loot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's how it's gonna work.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't think they would have unique drops then.
I don't know. I think this RuneFest is an accurate representation of some statements that have been made over the last year that they always bite off a lot more than what they can chew.
For sure, yeah.
There's still so much more that they have to still come out with, and they've got what seems to be a never-ending list of more things that they want to add in. So I don't know. Anyone? Fuck it. We're moving on to the next one. So they're going to be coming out with another quest. This quest is Making Friends with My Arm. And this is a continuation of the Troll quest line. And it'll be introducing a new intelligent troll city. I don't know how a troll can be intelligent, but maybe this is some kind of super breed of trolls. And hold on, it's gonna bring out more uses for fire making.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, lovely.
So, what are you guys kind of expecting from this quest? Do you like that they're adding in another quest? Just give your whole general opinions on this.
So I really like the idea of like a new quest because I think Monkey Madness 2 was probably up until Wintertod was the most well received update. They've said that they don't like doing they didn't want to do a quest because it's not like replayable content, but I think Demonic Gorillas gave it something to like kind of go back and do. I know it's not like the quest, but it's after the quest. So I think the new troll quest, like people do it and they'll have some use. I just hope it isn't fire making. If they're going to bring out a use for anything, if there's going to be some type of reward like that, I hope it's a different skill. I'm just really looking forward to it just because it's Ash doing it, so we know it's actually going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, all the other previous quests that Ash has done, including the ones from like pre-EOC and RuneScape 3, were all really well done.
Oh yeah, for sure. His like the way he tells stories is like quirky and it's Ash like.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, it's Ash's style, which is good. So, I mean, they said that the title "Making Friends with My Arm" they might change that, which I hope they do because it sounds so fucking stupid. But this is kind of where they're like. I'm glad that they're doing it as well because there's a whole like RuneScape lore type thing around there. It's like a ritual site for the Majar, like that quest line.
Yeah, it's the Sanson Temple.
Yeah. So like. I think they mentioned it either on the Thursday or the RuneFest. I forget which one, but they mentioned
Thursday.
Where they were gonna like, if people wanted to, they were gonna kind of like drift away from the RuneScape 3 lore, which I think they needed to do a while back. Like, our game is so not just held back by game engine, but like the fucking lore. Like, we have to follow RuneScape 3 in a sense, which is so fucking annoying.
Yeah. Sorry, you want to say something?
Yeah, go on.
Alright. Stuck now. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think Monkey Madness 2 is definitely a really good update. It seemed like all the players really enjoyed it. It was well received, and the mods that worked on it also enjoyed working on it and said they want to do more quests. So, as long as they kind of keep the same mindset and like something to go back after the quest is done to make it not just like one thing to do and then you're done. Like whatever the fire making stuff is, hopefully it's like relevant to the skill and everything.
Yeah, out of all the things they talked about at raids, this kind of sounds the best to me because Monkey Madness 2 is well done. I like at least maybe like 1 or 2 quests a year, maybe 1 quest every like 3 to 4 months would be nice and old school. I remember in the pre-UC days, it'd be at least 1 new quest every month pretty much, and it got a little bit, I felt like it was a little bit too much. But like we've had 1 quest in 3.5 years. It would have been nice to have a bit more than that because quests are pretty fun content as long as they're not like constantly coming into the game where you have to keep up with it and it gets annoying. But yeah, I mean, and generally quests are fairly innocuous, like they don't fuck up the game too much usually, but it's still pretty decent content. I guess the downside is that it takes a lot of dev time for something that's a one-off, but I still, yeah, I'm glad that they're continuing to do more quests in old school, and this one sounds like RuneScape-y, I guess.
I'm a little surprised that they're going with creating an entirely new quest when they said that they have 2 quests that are practically finished in the archive, so that surprises me a little bit. I'm really interested to see what rewards they do come out with. I don't think there needs to be more uses for fire making. The Wintertide has done its job, I should say. for fire making. I don't think there needs to be any more uses for fire making. I think people are over that fact that, oh, fire making is a boring skill, it's useless. So I hope that they go in a different direction other than fire making. And well, I think I've said in the past, I don't think they should come out with any quests unless they're like a grandmaster level quest. Because if this is just some kind of mid-tier quest with not good rewards, I don't really see much appeal to even doing it.
Saying that though, like Monkey Madness 2 was like the end of a quest, so that was obviously like, an end of a quest line, so that could have been Grandmaster. This, I mean, if they finish this as the Troll quest line for 07, like if they're not going to release anymore, this could be a Grandmaster. But like they said, they've got to kind of like tell the story before they finish it. So I like Grandmaster quests, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind, like a 45-minute like build-up quest, and then they'll maybe bring out 4 or 5 months later, like a 1 hour, like another one following that storyline, and then a Grandmaster. So if they make this like a middle ground quest, like med level, and then do a Grandmaster after that, or if they just make this a Grandmaster, either way, I like the idea of it.
Seems that the one thing that sort of made them wary of doing quests is just the amount of time that goes into developing an area that's used for one part of the quest. With this, they're developing an area solely reliant on that quest. So I think it's a proper right step in the right direction in terms of unlocking content through quests. But there's just masses of stuff that they could put in there, and I think they threw fire making in there because it's like the one people joke about it being just stupid, rather than them actually being serious and saying we're going to give you more fire making content. But like an icy place, things like Hunter and ice fishing, they were talked about. Just sort of this wouldn't be a Grandmaster, but it'd just be sort of a little nice introduction to that place, and another sort of reassurance that they can do quests on their own.
I think the idea with fire making is that it's more uses and not more training methods. So like Wintertide is a training method, but it's not really a use. And I think they were talking more about like ways to, I forget exactly. I mean, I think they did talk a little bit more specifically about what that meant, but it was more about like maybe you can light a certain type of fire that might be beneficial for something else.
They said something like it melting like snow, so you can use stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, like it's not going to be a training method.
I don't remember if it was fire making, but going back to pre-OC again, you had on your run you could right-click rest. I think.
Oh fuck yeah, it was that, wasn't it?
Yeah, Matt K mentioned something like how you could light a fire, a special fire, and it gives you warmth, and it like made your run energy go up. Yeah, so I mean, panic cell stamina.
It's interesting. I don't know. I think what you guys said about them doing a Grandmaster quest, I really would like them to set up to continue this quest line with this new city. I definitely like quests. I think what you said, Aubrey, about like a 3 to 4 month timeline. I think something more like 6 months to a year. I think a quest once every that kind of time frame for me would be, I think, ideal. Because I agree that like they want to balance their time, so they don't want to spend all their time doing quests. I think that would be good for us and them. I would like to see them do 1 or 2 quests and then a Grandmaster quest in this quest line.
I would like to see more content unlocked through quests, as Trickool was saying before. That goes back to what you were saying before, where they just shouldn't rush trying to push some content out and just be patient and release it in a better way. I feel like releasing it through quest is a really good way of introducing content.
Yeah, I mean, they did it with diaries. I mean, they can do it again, so there's really no reason they shouldn't.
Yeah. Anyone have any more on that quest? All right. So let's move on. I think this is one of the last things that was talked about was some of the conclusions of what the players want. So according to the data, the things that players want are high-level content should be the priority, but not the exclusive focus. But quality of life updates must continue, and there is a strong desire for PvM and PvP content that supports group gameplay. what do you think about those statements in their conclusion?
I'm not really sure. I mean, they did say like since Zora, there's been a lot of solo PVM like Cerberus, Abyssal Sire, and now they have raids. So I guess if there's a demand for it, then I'm fine with it.
I really hate it. Like all of them are very vague and as a sort of a like something to end on for the year.
Yeah, agreed.
Like until next year of RuneFest. That's awful.
Especially with that, like,
Could you
they're
imagine
ambiguity with
paying
quality of
money
life
to
is
hear that?
ridiculous. Yeah. Like, the stuff they've put under quality of life, them saying quality of life must continue is
Skilling
extremely
Pets
ambiguous to
2
me.
was a
Exactly,
quality.
skilling pets will put in the quality of life.
Quality of life is just another way of saying we'll keep updating the game.
Exactly. We'll put everything in quality of life. So it's a really,
And
it's such an ambiguous thing for them to say. All
the strong desire from PvP and PVM, they contradicted that like 5 minutes earlier, saying that like PVM wasn't going to be a focus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, PVM, I know when they've had several polls out about this over the last year or two. PVM has consistently been the least popular gameplay style. And
PvP.
PvP.
What did I say?
PVM.
What did I
We love
say?
PVM.
Did I say PVM?
You said PVM, yeah.
Yeah.
My
Don't you get us all
apologies,
fucking killed.
PvP has been the least, like, it's the play style that the least amount of people play. It's the kind of updates that the least amount of people want to see. And it just doesn't make any sense why they keep on doing stuff like this. Holy shit, got some lightning.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
maybe-
It felt really like vague and like the whole talk about like what the people want just didn't do anything for me. It's like it's this thing and it's this thing and we're just gonna keep updating the game. It's like, alright, just keep updating the game. Like, I don't know. It was so inconclusive and vague that it just seemed kind of a waste of time to even mention.
All right, here, someone's got a good point here. Is people complain about old school not getting more time during RuneFest, but old school has so little to show during RuneFest that more time would probably hurt them.
It definitely would. I remember,
Yeah.
like, yeah, exactly. Like, what do they have, like an hour or something to show up what they've got this year?
This is about 50 minutes compared
Yeah,
to
they can
like
hardly fill
38
that.
last year.
They can hardly fill that with anything worthwhile. There really is no need for us to have more time.
This year's old school spotlight was so bad.
Exactly.
So bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
we
the
get
only
our
reason
weekly Q&A, which is really transparent every week. We really don't
Yeah.
need the time at RuneFest.
Like Ash got carried away with podcasts going into all the technical jargon regarding like certain things.
Yeah.
And then we got some like really bog standard graphs and then just content that's been coming soon for 2 years.
Yeah. The good thing, the best thing about these graphs as well is that, like, I feel like he's been working on these for months. So he's been like hyping everyone up, like, yeah, guys, there's data coming. We're going to do a big data stream, and then he's got this really shit graph. Like, I don't know how he can possibly like pretend that he, looks at this data because he doesn't reflect.
Yeah. And Ash doing that
I remember.
I heard about that. Yeah.
after everything he said.
Yeah, there was some. I'm not going to repeat it, but there was something said in the Twitch chat that got spammed that made me fucking cry laughing, man. But no, like the 1 hour spotlight, at least half an hour of it was filled with just Q&A type stuff. It was like, how many RuneFests have you been to? It's like, I don't care what's happening to the game. Like, I think it's honestly. I mean, I was watching it like on another TS with Funk and a few other of my friends, and we were watching it, and like we weren't even disappointed because we didn't expect anything really. Like, it's just the stuff that they actually did try and like put across. Like, oh, this is coming. It's like, this was coming last year. What are you on about? Like, nothing really stood out. Like, apart from the quest, nothing stood out. Like, that's good. Can't wait for that.
I like the tweet about Fossil Island. Even the boat wanted to kill itself.
Oh my god. Yeah, or is it the 11th reason the boat had depression? It's like, yeah, mate, say what's in this. I don't know. This year as well, we actually had like an hour and 15 minutes, but they were 15 minutes late anyway. So what was the point in that?
I also missed the intros that we got back in 2014.
Oh
superhero
man, it
intro
was
of them. Do you remember
it was
that?
like a sports highlight like it was like a starting lineup. You had like holy shit. Oh my god, I remember that. That was fantastic, dude. Someone needs to find that. That was a
Also,
great.
another thing. Yeah, they unlisted it, so it's pretty difficult to find
Oh.
it.
Fuck.
Even at RuneFest, still managed to throw in a couple of digs at Reach, and that's starting to piss
I
me
know,
off.
they're so
It's
annoying
so
with
cringy.
What were some of the things that they said?
John
didn't-
said something like it was originally going to be worked on by our previous dev, but we all know what happened to him.
I think he
And, like,
said
things
reach
like that.
explicitly
Yeah.
for one of the things about the boat.
Yeah, when they were talking about how the boat had depression and how it was made out of magic logs and all this shit, they said how like Reach was gonna make it, but then Reach sunk and like threw
Oh
any
yeah, and
shade
then
his
Mod
way.
Reach was going to. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or reach.
I actually talked about that on I was watching the Q&A this last week, a couple days ago, and there was a couple shots at him there. It's so unprofessional, and I can't believe that it's still going.
I hate it as well because still like we can't breach terms of service. We can't give you a proper answer. Haha, he got fired. Haha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had they told us what he did and then kept making these shots, then I guess I'd be okay with it. But it just disgusts me that they won't tell us what happened and that they keep ripping him for whatever it was that did happen. It's been
it's just
dozens and
unprofessional,
dozens of times
not
that he
very
said
good.
something. All right, let's see. Anyone have any more for the conclusions part?
I wouldn't pay to watch it.
Oh yeah. Do you guys think that RuneFest as a whole was a little underwhelming? What do you guys think about it?
Not so much as a meet and greet for people. Like if there was a group event, a group from Hexis going, I'd be there in a heartbeat. But if I went just to go and see what lies ahead, and just that would no.
Nobody goes to
For
see
no
what
money.
lies ahead. There's the stream for that.
Yeah,
but-
the reveals weren't as exciting as I thought they would be.
Yeah, because the guy kept saying, and I'm going to tell you guys, it is big. It is B-I-G.
Raids are gonna be big.
He probably has no idea what raids even are as well. He's just been told that, like, yeah, you got to big this up. You got to big this up. This is our flagship thing.
I think if I went RuneFest, like, I was gonna go this year because I had like bonds and stuff, and then they're like, oh yeah, you can't pay with bonds. I wasn't spending real money for that. Looking back at it now, obviously I would have gone to the reveal because it wouldn't have already happened. But I'd have been so disappointed with the whole thing. Like, I'd have gone for the meet and greet, the pre-party, met everyone, like chilled out, had fun, and then when I actually got to the event, I would have been so disappointed. Plus, from what I heard, it was like £5 for a can of Coke. Like,
Yeah.
mate, we play
Holy
RuneScape.
crap.
That's
not-
like,
we're not
like school
millionaires.
discos. That's like that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Or you
Like,
said it was like £4 for a water or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Archie,
it was so
Archie said
expensive.
that.
It's like the cinema where you always just sneak your own stuff in.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have, mate. Yeah,
That's
I'd have took a
crazy.
man bag.
Packed lunch.
Packed lunch.
Yeah, hopefully
Nah.
we'll get Rig on
Baba
the next.
Gam.
Hopefully we'll get Rig on the next podcast and he can tell us about his time there.
I think Rig complained about the price of Coca-Cola as
Yeah,
well.
I'm pretty sure he tweeted that
Oh
out. Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
if you got a rich guy like that complaining, then you know there's a problem.
Mate, the guy's rolling around in like gold chains, gold boots, and he's complaining about
That
the price of
full
Coke,
pants.
mate. Like, come on. I'd have had to remortgage my house, mate. Crap.
I think people that went had a lot of fun because they met up with friends and things like that.
I mean, yeah, that's what it is. It's a meetup event. Like, nobody's going to see, like, oh, I wonder what the old school team's going to release. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
They're just there to see all the streamers and meet each other.
Yeah, like, I'd have.
And Razor comes of age next year.
Oh,
Oh,
Hey, he'll be in
rub my hands
attendance.
together if you can't hear that
He'll
trick.
be he'll be in attendance to accept his Hall of Fame award.
Oh, that's
You
also
can
what he
do it,
also
Philly.
tweeted out, like, that Lay Me guy got it might have been you, Brandy, that Lay Me guy, like, played for a week and got a Hall of Fame award.
Yeah, it's such a fucking joke.
Now, he did a phenomenal. I don't know a goddamn thing about him. I don't know a goddamn thing about RS3. but more or less, this man got an award for 1 week of play. I don't.
Didn't you get that with the Guinness Book of World Records, right?
Hey, more on that to come later.
Did Lynx get another one, by the way?
No, he didn't.
I don't think so.
What do
No.
you mean? Why not?
He should have, but he didn't.
Yeah, he's rank 1 in our game now. He got one for rank 2, didn't he?
Did he?
He got two. He got two
He got one
awards
for rank
last
2
year.
and one for rank 1.
Why did he get one for rank 2?
Because he's
Uh,
rank 2 in RS3.
Because
No,
the person
no.
who was rank 1 at that time, I think, had already gotten a reward.
Yeah,
Oh.
Drumgun already got it, and Jake
Yeah.
had already gotten one as well when he was rank 1.
Oh, whatever.
Lynx will get one as alt next year.
Probably.
All right. So now that RuneFest has come and gone, and sailing has not been mentioned, no other skill mentioned for that. Do you think that the skill's really been scrapped as a whole? And if not, do you think they haven't or hold on. If not, why do you think they haven't discussed repolling it recently? So I mean, are we looking at no skill guaranteed for the next year? What do you think?
I feel like if they had a skill planned for next year, they definitely would have talked about it at RuneFest. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point far in the future they like bring back out their sailing designs just because they don't know what else to do and they need something big. But yeah, I doubt it's gonna happen soon. If ever.
Yeah, no, I think sailing's long gone now. I mean, most of the rewards are either coming from raids. The Zenite shards were supposed to come from the gem dragons. They're in the game now. And obviously Fossil Island would have been a sailing reward, and that's possibly coming out. So as much as it must kill John, I think they've just let go of the idea. And that poll, is it a few weeks, maybe a few months ago, where it's saying like, what skill would you most like to see? Not, you know, like they worded it very carefully, like dungeoneering, artisan, summoning. Like, I think that just gave them an idea of, no one can decide on the skill they want. So I don't think they're gonna come up with any ideas for a new skill this year. All the rewards are gone now, so I think sailing's dead.
Yeah, for sure. Like, even if they planned on doing it, like on their current time frame, they'd be releasing it like 2019. So it doesn't really matter if they talk about it now.
Yeah, it seems like when it doesn't pass the poll, they kind of just picked it apart, took the things that they think would go down well with the community, and they're just going to apply them to future updates, like we saw Monkey Madness and everything. So
Yeah.
Especially with a game like Old School, we usually know what's coming months in advance because it all has to be polled. So fingers crossed, I think we have heard the last of it. And yeah, the priority poll definitely showed that more people are fond of sort of dungeoneering, summoning-esque kind of ways to train. And I disagree with it, and I prefer something a bit more unique. I mean, each their own. Majority wants it. It's democracy after all.
I think it was more because they were familiar with, like they knew what it was.
Yeah.
Like,
but they didn't word it as what skill do you want to come into the game.
yeah, what
They
skill would you
worded
like to
something
say?
else.
Yeah, I mean, people know what summoning and dungeoneering are. Like, no one knows about sailing or artisan because it's never been out. I think that's why they kind of like voted safely.
I don't think we'll have a skill, or I don't think they'll really revisit the idea anytime soon either. And I think that's totally fine. I mean, we already see how much shit that they have planned for the
Yeah, they
next
got a lot on their
like,
plate,
yeah,
as is.
like they couldn't they're still months away from finishing what they talked about last RuneFest. One step at a time, and I'm glad they're not really trying to
Hit
push out.
themselves.
Yeah. Although I think sailing does have potential for possibly being a good skill, I'm glad they're not trying to add anything in or anything like that for a new skill. All right, so something that
We're finally done with the room.
hey, I think we talked longer about RuneFest than what RuneFest even was like.
Yeah, we did.
Holy fuck. Yeah, there's still other shit that has happened. Something that recently happened, might have caught a few of us off guard, is the ZMI. So the ZMI altar is being pulled, it's passing, and it's coming. Does it surprise you that ZMI will be coming into the game?
Not at all. No, like the way that people train runecrafting now is like in their eyes, because he's just a more casual player. They go through absolute hell to get to 77 and they're AFK to 99. In my opinion, that's fine. If they want to do that, like I'm still going to do my own thing. But ZMI just opens it up so they have a faster way that won't like kill their wrists or force them into AHK or anything like that to get to 77. I mean, what was it? It was like 20k XP at like level 9 or something stupid. The XP is obviously going to be way off, like 46k an hour at 99. It's going to be so much higher than that. Like, I can think of 4 people off the top of my head in Hexis alone that if everyone's spreadsheets, are correct, will be 60k an hour plus. And then Jagex are going to nerf it, and it'll actually be 46k an hour, and it won't affect any of us. It'll just affect the casual people that actually want to do it.
I can see the threads now as well.
Yeah, and then they won't do it. So it will literally be dead content within a week. And unless for some reason we're getting the pet rates tomorrow, so obviously it's not out yet, so they can't say whether it's going to be the best pet rate, but unless it is the best pet rate when it comes out, I don't think anyone's going to do that past 77. It just doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah. Am I surprised it's coming to the game? Like, I guess a little bit, because I don't see, like a lot of people have said, I don't see where it would really fit in. But it's passing, which I mean that doesn't really surprise me. Similar to the which new skill pull would we want? Like a lot of people would for dungeoneering because it's familiar, it's something they used to do, and they see it. They don't really think of how it would like affect the game or anything. They're just like, oh yeah, I used to do ZMI, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, they did say, they've been saying for a while it's been in their archive, but suddenly they're just like, yeah, let's pull it. Like, fuck it. Like, a week ago, nobody knew any of this was going to happen, and suddenly it's just boom. And now it's coming into the game probably within 2 weeks, I would guess, because it's already mostly done. They just need to change the banking mechanics from the original, and I guess work out some bugs or something. But, yeah, Sheeran pretty much covered the bases. Like, it's going to be 60k an hour on release probably, and then they're going to nerf it, and then Reddit's going to complain, blame Hexis, and then
gonna have the anti-AHK posts.
We already had.
Write it down. Put the tweets out right now, just so it's marked.
Yeah, and yeah, then it's just going to be shit that people do until 77, so they can just have easy escape RNC the whole way. I mean, I honestly think ZMI is pretty good. I don't know. I mean, ZMI isn't really that different than most other RC. Like, it's still banking and running to an altar and using pouches and all that. So it's not really that bad. But like,
still traditional RC.
Yeah, it's not really going to be, in a way, it's not really going to be that different from other things pre-77. So I don't know why people are so excited about it. But I mean, the content itself I like. It's kind of sad that it's just going to be like noob content pretty much.
Like, the only thing I really don't like about it is why now? If it's been ready for so long, why didn't they just do like what they did with God
exactly,
just pump it out straight away?
Yeah. If they'd done this a year ago, they could have had this, and then it would have been a replacement of ARC. There'd be no ARC, which is shit content. It would have been perfect.
There goes the topic.
Yeah, well, the questions were all really fucking specific, but it was kind of like a perfect storm kind of thing. Like, nobody's talking about ZMI, and the next fucking day there's a poll-in game for it.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened so quickly. But yeah, I mean, we've had it in the archive for 3.5 years. Exactly. Why now? Why not? 2 years ago, last year? Like,
3 years ago.
Time frame for it to be right now.
Do you remember Hype came at? Like,
I bet it wouldn't have passed in 2013.
I don't think it would have either.
Probably not. No.
Because the big bad wolf of increased XP rates, which were against the law in 2013.
Yeah, the good days.
Yeah,
actually, one of the old school feel.
This really fucking surprised me. Yeah, like no one was really talking about this being I think as many people are asking for ZMI as they were for a dragon short sword. Like, where did this come from? Who was asking for
The
this?
masses of requests.
Fucking hell.
Reddit's flooded with requests for dragon short swords. You wouldn't believe.
Yeah, so it really surprises me. I don't really care that it's coming into the game. Don't ever see myself ever doing it, and I don't really see how it fits into runecraft. And I tweeted about this. There's so many other methods that are out there, like lavas for XP, Nats and
Nats and
Astrals
Astrals
for
for
money,
money,
Bloods and
Souls and
Souls
Bloods
for
for
AFK.
AFK.
Like, I guess
Yeah.
this seems like a not break your wrist click intensive training method for pre 77 RC, which it just doesn't really. I just don't think it fits into the skill that well. I think the runecrafting skill's fairly balanced as it is right now. I mean, we've got AFK, we've got money, we've got XP. It seems odd to come out now. Yeah. I'm sure we've already deleted that other topic, but yeah, like they could have did this and not come out with Bloods and Souls and had some kind of like. Now this is a question I have because I don't believe I've ever done ZMI. Do you get Bloods and Souls from that?
Get
Yes.
every rune from it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you? I
Used
don't
to,
Yeah.
remember.
used to even get souls from it when there wasn't a soul altar in that game.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it just. I feel
It's
like that
such
would
a
have.
clusterfuck in your invent when you make runes, though.
How many do you get?
like-
Is it shitty to
Like 14 items at once.
Holy piss! Do you
from
have
all
to
your
em-
S.
do you have to empty your pouches?
You have to
a
have
couple
full
times?
bank, yeah.
No, do you have to
Yeah.
empty your pouches a
Either-
couple times?
Yeah, you have to like empty your poor pouches one by one near enough. Maybe you can do medium and small at the same time.
Wow. Yeah.
One
very
thing I don't
very surprising.
understand. One thing I don't understand is like people who say that like Abyss runecrafting or Astrals are like the most AIDS things ever done. Like, how can people do this? You have to be autistic. Like, ZMI is the same exact thing. Like, I don't know why these
They're
people are
still-
so
they're still
excited. It's
voting
literally the
for it.
same exact thing.
Yeah, you're
If
right.
anything, I'd say ZMI was worse. I mean, I know they've taken off. Like, I think they're going to change how banking works. I mean, I don't remember it all that well. It's not fresh in my mind, but you used to have a certain type of rune. I think everyone used air runes or fire runes or something.
Fires.
And you like this predates like AHK or anything like that, and this predates bank fillers and stuff. So like, it won't be as AIDS for us now, but it will still be worse than Astrals or Nature runes.
And also, just to play devil's advocate, like, you actually kind of have to click both Astrals and Nats. You have the AFK when you click the rock or the tunnel, on the
Oh,
Astrals
yeah.
when you
Yeah,
click
that's
the
a
other
good point.
side. You can't do that with ZMI.
Yeah.
You actually have to click all the way around. It's terrible.
Dude, I've started doing Astrals recently just because, like, from the second you teleport to MoonClan, I think it's literally 4 clicks without imbue and you're at the altar. And, like, there's one run where you can literally, like, you can walk downstairs, make a sandwich, come back, you're still not there. It's great, I love it.
Or you could just like follow somebody to the altar if you can.
I tried that,
yourself
I ended
if
up
you
on the
do
other
that.
side of
Yeah, you gotta be
MoonClan.
careful.
Some idiot tried luring me.
Good man. All right, so with so we talked about Trickool did about PRS being so cheap. What kind of GP? Nah, I mean we don't have to have everyone answer this question, but anyone who thinks they know, feel free to pipe up. So
Dave.
Pipe it up.
with PRS as cheap as it is, how much money are people going to be making an hour doing this?
I'm gonna guess like 800k.
Really, that's a fucking lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure one of the spreadsheeters has done it already, haven't they?
Gami said 800k at 60k an hour.
Yeah.
That's
There we go.
At least I think he did. If I'm wrong, then correct me.
Is he online? I'll
I
ask
think
him
so.
afterwards.
Dukami said that.
It was either Dukami or someone else with a spreadsheet. He's just the first person that came to mind. Someone said 800k because that's the number that's going around at the minute.
Nah, that seems too high. I reckon 600's about right, though.
Yeah, but I mean that was like calculated at 60k an hour, so it's possible.
Yeah, so
Thinking back in the day, it was like 500k or so, and that's when Essence was pretty expensive and runes were pretty cheap, if I remember correctly. I don't know.
Mm.
So.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean PRS is very, very cheap, so I don't know. So do you guys? This is an interesting topic. I guess it's kind of pertaining to ZMI or yeah. So do you think AHK or mouse keys should be factored in when determining the highest XP rate? This is apparently referring to a controversial Reddit post. I don't know what post that's about. Does anyone know?
There were loads.
It's the hate AHK thread
Yeah,
for the
there were
millionth
plenty of them.
time.
The funny thing is that it doesn't have any effect. Like the highest possible XP rate can be obtained with a mouse for almost all skills.
A
Just has a higher
regular
skill
mouse?
cap than if you're doing
A
it with
regular
AHK.
mouse, not a Hexis
Regular
mouse.
mouse?
Yeah, not one of those sexy
John
ones.
C uses a regular mouse trick.
Who was testing the XP rates for ZMI that they estimated 48k an hour?
Right, you know damn well John did
Oh, they've not
6 minutes
tested
and
it yet.
times it by 10.
Like you said,
A
you
day's
said, you
work
said,
well done, trick.
you said Dukami's getting 60k an hour.
Well, that's
estimated?
based on calculations. He's not a
Like,
Yeah,
where,
okay, so-
my question is because I don't really know. Where are people estimating that it's going to be 12k more XP per hour than what they're estimating it to be?
Well, they counted the squares and just based on how much XP it gave then.
Yeah,
That was
so
it.
they're going off the XP that it used to give, like the average XP per essence, and then they counted how many tiles it was from like wherever you go, like the teleport, down the ladder to the altar, and then they took into consideration the banking, because like we're not going to have that interface where you'd have to click a rune. We've got AHK now, so banking's more accurate. I'm not going to say it's faster because they still had
The
like deposit
bank,
all.
Jebram said was the main increase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was like bank fillers as well. So there's various things. I mean, I honestly don't think it'll be a high as 60k, but back of my mind, I think it is. That makes sense.
Just based on how like every update about regarding XP rates has been, I think it'd be kind of silly not to assume that it's going to be over it. To be
No,
honest,
it is. There's no reason for me to think it isn't going to be over it because
unless they've got like Ned, they're doing it.
Yeah.
exactly.
I
Somebody
just don't trust
tweeted somebody tweeted that they'd give them the $100 if they released a 1 hour video of them testing ZMI. I think it was Funk.
Yeah, it's funk. I mean, I don't know. What was Zaya now? Soul runes were like 45k XP an hour for a very skilled player.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
highly click
High
intensive.
effort.
Bold on the high effort, yeah.
They all took a
It was
fucking shower.
actually fucking bolded.
And it was like, what, 53k an hour on release? Something like that?
Okay, so it was calculated wrong. Everyone well, some people calculated it wrong. They calculated it from the second they got the XP drop, not from when they started mining. I mean, it was still like 50k XP.
No, but there were people doing like actual laps. Like,
Yeah,
they weren't
yeah.
cheating and they were getting 53k. Like, it was
Yeah.
52k an hour.
Yeah, I mean, someone took a shower, averaging like 46k
Yeah.
an hour. So it tells you everything, really, doesn't it? Like he actually showered.
Yeah, I was trying to link that video in the chat, and I just look like an idiot, but
You sure do.
um, but anyways, just to kind of give some input on this, like, to what extent should we include OS Buddy overlays, and like what else should be included in
Well, that's
finding
more so
the
increasing consistency, not like
consistency? Yeah, that's true.
because like then like
Yeah.
screen markers, you know what I'm saying, kind of has a little bit of the same effect.
Yeah,
It should absolutely be based on the maximum possible you can achieve with mouse keys. Because how else can they determine it otherwise?
I think if they're definitely going to claim that it's the maximum, they better at
Should be
least
the
be
maximum,
putting some effort into getting those numbers, not just having a kickabout sort of with the raids.
Exactly.
Can you guys tell
Like-
me what the exact wording was in the dev blog?
For
I'm trying
ZMI.
to find it.
Yeah,
Ooh, let's go have a
like
look.
I know it said estimated, but let's see. Let me pull it up. Yeah, I'm pulling
These
it up.
experience rates assume that you are using all of the runecrafting pouches available at you at each level, and that you're using your Arena teleport. It doesn't say anything about skill. Keep in mind that these are estimated numbers based on experience rates in 2007. Okay.
What were the
Whew.
rates in
That's
2007?
ancient technology.
The rates in
fucking hell.
2007, people are saying that it would be about 60k an hour, right?
Yeah, Phoenix Odin. A couple of
He didn't average it, but he could sniff it from time
Yeah.
to
Could get it,
time.
Phoenix
But
Odin.
he didn't have
could-
half the shit that we've got now.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're saying the actual experience rates you may receive may differ, but we don't expect it to differ by much. That implies to me that they're going to release it as was in 2007 or tweak it a little bit. But if they're going to tweak it a little bit, that's still well over what they're saying here. Because it's about 20 to 25% higher, we assume, than what they're saying.
Is there any chance we're wrong and they're right?
I mean, based on
No.
experience,
No.
probably
We
not.
run this shit.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. We'll see when it comes out. Like they might think to themselves, common sense might come into fact, and they think people didn't use AHK and all this bullshit in 07, like an actual 07. So who knows? It might be a bit faster, and they might nerf the XP, but that would take some sort of common sense from the 07 team, and
We give them a lot of shit. I hope they can prove that they've thought ahead a little bit, because
But at the same
There's a
time,
reason
if
we're
it's
cynical.
ridiculously overpowered, I'm going to be really disappointed.
yeah,
I mean, the thing is, Kieran actually did ZMI, his video got put around a lot, and the dude had a trimmed completionist K back then, in his video, which was 2011 or something. He knew what
That's
ZMI
regular
was.
completionist.
Reg comp, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, there's a big difference.
He didn't play Castle Wars, mate. He knows what ZMI is, and John's done his fair share of rune crafting. I just hope that they don't go full spacker mode. I hope that they actually step back and think this is actually faster than what we're saying it is. I have faith in them. I shouldn't, but I do.
I don't want to call them idiots. I do hope that they're not idiots on this.
I think they
No,
did a good
no.
job with their wording and saying estimated, not expected.
No, that is
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
That is a really good job in precision of language.
They remember high intensity rune crafting from Zaya.
Would it be fairly easy to, I heard Ned talk about this, have an alt run with him, and he trades his alt at the altar on half of his runs. Is ZMI that?
It's going to be a hassle because your inventory gets so filled up with the runes.
Hmm.
But would it maybe be better?
Well, your alt's going to be trading 10 PRS a time.
I mean, you can already
If
do that for
that.
normal rune crafting now, so it's not an issue for me.
Yeah, that's not new.
And it's a little bit more of a hassle at lavas because of the necks, and it's a lot more click intensive, less time for banking and everything like that. I don't know. Ned was saying that he thinks he'd be able to do it on an alt and maybe push 70k an hour. I believe I heard him say. I could be wrong though.
Oh, someone in the chat just said trade the runes for the pure essence.
Yeah, but you're going to
but
have
there's a
to
lot of
dump in
runes.
14 different sets of runes. It's
Yeah.
going to take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fuck
it's
that.
different runes every time as well, because the higher your rune crafting, the better chance.
You get
better
an every
runes.
tier rune without fail.
Yep.
So you guys don't think it'll really have a big impact on rune crafting overall?
It's
or
worth trying
something?
out, but I don't
For
think
us,
it will
nah.
be.
No, it'll
Unless
just
they
make-
massively fuck up, none of us are going to do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm-
efficiently at least.
I'm gonna do day of release anyway, because
Yeah, we might do it, but it won't be efficient to do, we assume.
I'm not selling out the island.
Yeah.
Hit
I don't
or
know.
die.
It just benefits those guys that aren't 77 rune crafting that want to get to blood runes but don't want to rune craft astrals or nats, single astrals and single nats as well, like cosmics and wars. Just gives them something to do until 77. That isn't 20k XP an hour.
Well, this is right in that
Could be
area for
lavas.
XP. It's not that fast at lower levels.
It was 20k XP at like level 9.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Alright.
18.6.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of scaled really weird.
It
Yeah.
is scaled very weirdly.
Whatever.
The difference in 12 mil XP, 13 mil XP is 20k.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
Alright. So moving on to another update that's recently come out is Superior Slayer and buffed drop tables to practically
Woo.
every single Slayer thing. So
I don't think there's an explicit question about this, so I'll just slip it in now. It's probably increased the rates of Slayer by about 10%.
Yeah.
it's had
Holy
a
shit.
much bigger increase on Slayer XP per hour than what any of us really could have imagined.
I got another point
Couple
as
of-
well. You know, we talk about like passive updates to rune crafting. Think of the passive updates to Slayer now. It's doubled it, arguably.
Oh yeah.
Tripled.
Yeah. When I started doing Slayer, it was like I remember getting like 35k XP an hour over the course of a day, and I thought I was some like next level god. Like, I thought I was really good. If I got 35k an hour now, I'd be
Yeah, I
ashamed.
remember that. Doing
I'd
that.
log off, dude.
Hey, Scott
Um,
Scott Wilson says it's been a 5% increase to Slayer, not
Alright.
10, but that's
Apologise for my
that's-
ignorance.
That's still yeah.
That's still a bit.
fat fucking increase for something that was just supposed to be more so aimed at just to change Slayer up a little bit.
Variety, yeah. I actually went and did a few tasks after it came out. Like I unlocked it, went
Yeah,
and did
so
a few
did I.
tasks. I did like 3 tasks. I got an Abyssal Demon task. I got an encounter for that. That was
Did
pretty
you do it in
cool.
the catacombs?
Oh no, I barely did.
Oh.
I'm sorry, tell mate. And then I got two Dust Devils like back to back. I don't know. Seems cool.
I really want to know if someone's bullshitting me saying that a superior abbey in the catacombs drops a full totem every time.
Not a full
Oh.
one, it's a piece.
Is
Yeah.
it a piece or
Yeah,
or
drop
a
a
full
piece. I did Dust
Guaranteed
Devils
piece.
in
because the wiki says it always drops a complete totem.
No,
It's
it
the
drops one
wiki.
piece at a time.
It should be a piece, I think.
No, it is. It is. As for the drops, like unless I'm overlooking something like really simple, the Mist and Dust Battle Staff are just whatever. But the Imbued Heart is really good for Zora because it only increases the max hit of the Trident. It increases your accuracy overall, but I think so anyway. But
Yeah, but barely.
the only thing that it really does is Zora. Like I've seen people. There's one guy called Smithy. I've seen on my Twitter feed. He got like a 40-second Zora kill. So
Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
I think nobody in the office could kill it.
yeah, no one in the office could kill it, but your boy Smithy out here pulling 40-second snake kills. The dream. I don't know. The buff tables are good as well. It's more catered to Iron Man as normal, but I think Zam was saying or tweeted out something just before they like hotfixed it. I got yours for like 4 mil an hour because every other drop was like rune plate legs.
Wow.
That was
Yeah, Figgy tweeted something like that, like 3.6 an hour. He was getting on a Zerker.
yeah, it's crazy. They nerfed them a bit, so I think they're still like over 1 mil an hour. There's
Oh,
crafts
yeah.
as well. They're the new Wyverns for Iron Man. Like they're level 70 Wyverns. I've already seen multiple videos on that because of what they drop. Is it Wimpwert's noted or something?
Yeah, they're so difficult to get on Iron Man. And
Yeah.
they just shit them out.
And they also dropped the battle axe, which I assumed wouldn't like. I'm not going to kill Krask, so I've got the head. I've done my completionist time there, but I didn't think that the battle axe would be like the best weapon for those. Like, I thought like the sword or the bolts would still be like more damage. Apparently, that is the best DPS there. So they've actually dropped a new top tier weapon. It's
Who
only
would have
top,
thought?
it's only top tier for like 2 fucking
Karask,
things, like,
who would have
but
guessed it?
yeah. But no, I like it overall. I think it's a good update. The value
It's just, it doesn't need. Oh, hang on, specifically the drops, or
yeah,
the
like
whole thing?
I
We're
mean,
doing that thing where we've just merged all the questions of this
Yeah, I
topic
know we
into
have.
one again.
yeah. So I've really got to stop doing that. I need to read down more than one question at a time.
Nah, fuck it, gone too far.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll shut up, go on, Zod. Or breathing.
No, I mean, like, that it's one of those things where they say like, "Oh, you reckon we should make these things a bit worth doing, right?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, go on, we probably should. They're a bit shit." And then they make them like 5 mil an hour. Like, I don't understand why they can't just buff it a little bit.
It's not
like
just that,
like
though.
a
It's
Dark
like
Beast drop table buff.
Yeah, like Dark Beast, they were fine. Remember, was it Razivo was gonna have a Dark Beast doll?
Yeah.
Oh, he
Hey,
did. He made it.
Is
But
there?
yeah, like that was a good update. Like they're now slightly better. They're still not worth farming by any means, but they're better than shit. So
it's not just that though. It's the fact that people said, "Oh, you should buff them so they drop more, like they can make more money an hour." So they just added raw fucking GP to the drop.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the drops from Necreals, it's like coins 40, 140, 200, 10,000. It's just stupid shit like that.
yeah, it really is.
And then when it's
Christ.
not just dropping raw coins, it's like just alchables or shoppables, whatever you're gonna call them.
Yeah, I really don't understand like how they balance things sometimes, or like how they do such a terrible job of balancing things sometimes to be more direct. Like I can't fathom what goes through their minds sometimes with some of the updates that come into the game.
Yeah. Also, the Superior Slayer things, giving however much XP they give, that completely slipped past me because I voted yes. If I'd known they were going to give so much XP, I would have voted no. Because why do they give that much XP?
Did
Like
it
I don't
talk-
remember being told.
A question I have is, and I'm asking because I don't even know myself, was that talked about in the dev blog for it or in the poll for it?
Apparently, it was in a dev blog. I didn't see it, but
Yeah, I honestly didn't think that it was gonna be 10 times the XP rate for that one thing that you kill. Because I know that I was giving Superior Slayer a lot of shit prior to it coming out. But it's a pleasant surprise and a lot more overpowered than I think anyone could have really imagined it being. All right.
apparently it was in the question.
Also
That's
the
an
drop
idiot.
tables have made some tasks like proper unsung heroes, like Necreals and Gargs. If you poor as fuck, they're really good.
Well, people in the CC were talking about gargoyles being like over a mil an hour, and
Gargoyles are 1.2, Nex are 1.6
yeah,
on
like
task.
they're not that like gargoyles are pretty good already. Like if Cerberus wasn't so good, we'd all be doing gargoyles.
Fuck that, Gargoyles are a lot easier to do than fucking like 9 million hours of Cerberus.
Yeah, but Doge.
All right. So let's get. We're talking about the drop tables here. Let's get a little bit more into it. So, what do you guys think about them talking about how we need to add in gold sinks and things like that, and then they just they buff these tables, and they're extremely generous with just pure alchables and rune items. I want to know who balanced the Dark Beast drop table and why they didn't do it for all of these other ones, because so many of these drop tables that they buffed are over a mil an hour now, which is crazy to me, it seems.
Yeah, when it goes again, just I don't understand the logic. I really wish it seems like they don't even think about like or look at the numbers, which they have readily available now since they have a data warehouse. Like how much GP is coming to the game, how much GP is leaving the game. Like if I was working at Jetix and I was trying to balance updates, that would be like constantly in my mind for anything that involves coins at all. And it just seems like they don't think about this kind of stuff whatsoever. It's so weird to me. It kind of like, I don't know if we're talking about this later, but it kind of also somewhat unrelated, but at the same time related, is the farming pet drop rates. Like some of the rates, if you actually do out the math, are just so absurd. Like it's like over 2 billion
400
farming XP
days.
average.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
and
magics
if you
and
do it from
farms.
Tithe, it's like 2 billion XP average to get a farming pet from Tithe. It's like, who thought of this? Like, did they even do out the math at all? It just makes no sense whatsoever.
Mate, is it 2 bill XP? I thought it was 200 mil XP.
No, it works out to be like 2 bill XP.
So you're never gonna get the
Oh,
pet
yeah.
from Tice farming?
Basically, yeah.
Wow,
Unless
that
they're really lucky.
that seems very, very poorly done. That
Yeah,
to
it
me,
just seems like they don't think about it. They're like, fuck it, throw out a number, there we go.
One of
I am
my-
glad they made hops the best thing. Like that was good on that part.
Yeah.
yeah,
one
I
of
mean
my
that
pet hunt
that will
friends-
make people do hops, which
Oh yeah. I
Otherwise,
mean, I've
never
already
have been
seen.
that-
Did you see the prices of hops?
No.
Hasn't
They're
Jicklin got like
hilarious.
1,000,000 Unillion seeds?
Yeah. But I don't think
It's
those
like
are the
one of
best
the
raid. I
biggest
think Wild
flips.
Bloods do. What were you saying, Sheeran?
I was gonna say one of my pet hunter friends was doing Thai farm for the pet. Don't worry, I'll have
Poor
to.
guy.
I feel like tithe farming really should have been the best way of obtaining it. You got someone in the chat
No,
saying
I think
this
Hops is. I think it was good that it
2.6
was
bill
Hops.
XP.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 2.5 bill XP on average to get it from tithe farming. That I just who the fuck did that?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
I
Like,
can't
I just don't
believe
get
that
it.
I can't believe that they signed off on that being a okay like how did no one in the office say we should probably make it a little bit
That's a
more
bit
rare
steep,
than
fellas.
that. Like there's no way anyone's ever gonna try to get it from tithe farming.
Yeah. God Sync thing. Dust Devils in the Catacombs, when I did them, just to test it out, because like someone said that they dropped a lot of coins now. I went there with a Ring of Wealth on, and I toggled the coin collector, and I got like 160k. And it was
God.
only a task of like 120. Like, it was not a big task. It was basically like 1k coins per kill. Now, like with their other drop tables, like they mostly put on alcohols or ores, which, you know, all have like a bound
Runes
price.
as well.
Yeah, they've all got like a bound price. They can't really fluctuate that much. Their overall like stance are like we need a gold thing because we've got construction and LMS. That takes enough money out of the game. And like watching Twitch, watching the AOA guys, is it EGX or something? I think they spent like 10 minutes waiting for a game of competitive LMS, and like there was 4,000 people in the stream. They were there like, guys, come here, come here. They had to go into casual because no one was playing it. How is that taking money out of the game? And construction, it's like, it's not exactly the best gold thing. I just
Nobody's making planks anymore. Like,
yeah, no, I don't know. Like
Zolra.
the gold sinks and everything that they do about it, it just seems like they just sit in an office with their, you know, like Ronan and stuff are just there and they're like, oh, that sounds really good. Yeah, we'll do that. And then when it comes out, they're like, oh, we shouldn't have done that. That was stupid. But they can't change it then. I mean, like they could, but they don't because that'd be admitting defeat. I don't know. It's weird.
I just hate the way that they worded it, like newly buffed. They haven't really buffed anything. They've just made it drop more raw GP. Like a buff would be resources that are obviously lacking in the game, such as palm seeds and magic seeds. But instead, they're just dumping fucking 10k coin drops on things. It's silly. It's quite bizarre that they managed to fuck up with just some simple drop table balancing so much. Point where like you've got gold ore plummeting because of like things like that and stuff. But whatever.
Could you tell me what GP an hour you expect from gargoyles and necreals again?
1.2 from Gargs with a bludgeon, and it's like 1.6 from Nex, both on task. I think that's what Ging Sheet has them at.
So that'd probably be like 1 mil and like 1.4 mil an hour for those. Off task.
off task, yeah, probably somewhere around that,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit less.
Give it like 10% really either way.
I might wanna do that a little bit. Try it out on all just a couple trips just to fucking see. 'Cause sounds so OP. Alright, anyone have anything else to add for this topic? Superior Slayer in general and drop table buffs? Forever hold your peace. Alright, so yeah, we just talked about that one. Thank you for deleting it, whoever did that. Interesting question here is if you were given the code, I think it's alright. If you were
I
given
like this question.
yeah,
It's
fuck
so
off.
alright that you just deleted yourself from it.
If you listen to any instructions, do not like to be first on any.
Apart from the
Thing.
introductions, egotistical so and so.
Yeah. You know what? Next podcast, I'll let you introduce yourself first. How about that?
All
That's
right.
a dangerous move, Randy.
You can have the introduction first next week. All right, so on to the question here. If you were given the code to the original 2007 Escape and were only allowed to add 3 updates from like only 3 updates, what 3 would you choose? Apart from
Content-wise updates, yeah?
yeah, apart from quality of life and bug fixing.
Okay, so does this mean like I can put in anything or stuff that's in 07 now that wasn't in original 07 or?
Take the question however the fuck you want, I guess. I was only going to talk about things that have been added into the game since the start.
I don't know, I'll pass. I could probably think of something, but it'd just be like a sarcastic, dicky response, so.
That's what it's there for.
Alright, in that case, Turmoil's coming in, boys. Summoning's coming in, and so is Nex.
We don't even have God Wars. How
Who
can we have
cares
Nyx?
Who cares about God
You're not
Wars?
going to be able to get to it.
Skipping God Wars.
Yeah, well, okay, God Wars can come out with Nex.
Oh, hang on a sec. That's 4.
No,
That's cheating.
We'll bring out all 5 God Wars dungeon bosses at the same time. I'll be special, then I'll have 4 updates.
All right.
Honestly, I don't think I'd want any content updates. Like, if I could choose 3 updates, it would just be static spawns, fixed backwalking, and escape to close bank.
Really? Interesting.
Like, I'd be happy if there was no content updates at all in the game. I can understand that there's
Do you think you'd
obviously a
still
place
be
for them,
playing if
but-
there were no content updates?
Yeah, definitely.
There'd be no XP drops, no data orbs.
Actually, yeah, I like the XP drops. So
Yeah.
definitely add those back in. Just little things like that that make gameplay like a little bit cleaner, nicer looking, and stuff like that, but without like massively overhauling how people like the metagame for skilling is stuff that I like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think, yeah, what you're saying about like I would like as opposed to like no content versus what we've got, I'd probably prefer no content. But there are some that I genuinely enjoy. Like somebody mentioned Escape to Close Bank. That's a brilliant one. The thing is with Zulrah, it's really hard to imagine how skilling would work without Zulrah because it does fund, especially construction. Like how would that even work without Zulrah right now?
There were no achievement diaries and like all the other things that
Diaries,
require
yeah.
high skills and viables, there'd be a lot less demand for people to train them.
I don't think
Good
it
point.
holds up the skilling community as much as it once did as well, which is the worst part of it.
Yeah, Grand Exchange. Somebody mentioned. I definitely would want that. Grand
Right.
Exchange, Escape to Close Bank, and Rooftops.
Yeah, fuck rooftops. I'd take the Brimhaven update though.
All right.
I like tab to reply to your friends. That's a good one.
Oh
That is
yeah,
a good one.
yeah. Anything like that, definitely.
The RuneScape music stays permanently muted. Doesn't keep on muting itself, which is really fucking
God,
annoying.
the Hexis account is awful.
Hey, I love changing the volume on that. Although one time, so for those of you guys who don't know, there's the administrative team. We all occasionally log into the account, and one thing that we like to do is move the account to a separate location, and it's a lot of fun to log in and see the account in a different place. And sometimes you'll catch a jackass that turns the music and sounds on full blast. You have your music turned all the way up, and then you log in, and then the RuneScape music is just 10 times louder than everything else, and you're actually
We're still in prison,
bleeding
by the
out.
way.
You're
We're on the
bleeding
roof.
out
We've been there
the
for a while.
ear.
We're in prison for like a month.
We're on the roof of the prison now.
Someone put it into resizable and we never went back, didn't it?
Mine's not resizable.
Was it not? Oh.
No, like I think that's a U-based thing, not the game.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Is it my turn?
I've caught myself on that. Like, I'd set it as a trap for one of you guys, and then I'd log in, and then I'd fuck myself.
We were locked out next to bandits on like 3 HP for ages, weren't we?
That was great. Yeah. I was really hoping Randy would die on today.
Clayton nearly did.
All right, go ahead, Raz.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this, like reading it, and the answers I came up with, I don't really like anymore from what you guys said, but I'll say them anyway. I was thinking like Cerberus just for the crystals and the infernal axe. I really like that, and just God Wars for all the gear and everything. And I said the diaries too, just pretty much for the private red chin area. So
All right, for me, going with GE, Zolra. Um, fuck, there was the catacombs.
I only got 2.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. There's my 3. I'll stick to the question. All right.
This is a good question.
All right, so Ash confirmed on Twitter recently that boosting your level above 100 with like a DX spec or um, like fishing potions and Admiral Pies, other crap like that, equipping your Hunter Cape and stuff like that. That pretty much it has absolutely no impact. There's no effect on your success rate with your skills boosted above 99. What do you think about this?
Yeah, it would have been really nice to know because that's not something that you'd expect necessarily. So I think the person it probably affects the most is Acid Soul because rather than just equip his fishing cape once per minute, he equipped it every single time he caught a fish. So that's if he did it actually every single fish, that's what, like 3 million extra clicks that he didn't have to do. So yeah, rip to him. Also, like a dragon pickaxe spec is completely useless. Would have been nice to know that for 2,000 hours of mining. You know? That does actually explain though why it seemed like the perfect rate for mining was always a little bit lower than what I calculated at. Because yeah, if the mining, if the spec doesn't work, then it makes sense. So the perfect rate for 4G average it probably is like 128 or 129, something like that. Maybe 130.
yeah, it's definitely you don't really expect it to be like that. Kind of like the hunter outfits, how they don't actually do anything. But I actually found out about this like yesterday, pretty much, and for the better half of the podcast, I was actually like kind of naturally like boosting my Dragon Axe here at Redwood, so still getting used to it. But
Worth noting, no invisible boost still affects it.
Oh yeah. So
Oh, yeah,
at
that's true.
You're alright. You're off the hook.
yeah.
well, now it's bad because I wasn't doing it.
I'm really happy because when I was fishing, this whole new meta of equipping your cape every minute emerged, and I was really reluctant to do it, and I'm so fucking glad I did.
I had the same thing with Hunter. I was like, I'm so glad I didn't bother to do it.
Ray was PMing me like, you get a good 10% increase. Vessel was calling me a burnout for not doing it, and
You said
things like
10%?
10%.
like, well, it's one level. It's a +1 boost.
The only reason-
Yeah, it should be like
10% of your
1%.
level.
The only reason people think there's a correlation is because when you're switching your cape, you're more likely to be paying attention. That's the only reason.
Yeah, that it is.
You're more likely to be like actually dropping on time because you're switching at the same time.
Also worth noting, I remember retrying my fishing hour for the skilling cup because I ate my Admiral Pies in the wrong order. That was completely worthless now. Like an extra 10 million sweets or something stupid.
The Admiral Pie meta is never going to come to life now.
I've got 7 in my bank, it's going to go to waste.
That's quite. Yeah, for me, I fucked around with the Hunter Cave thing, but I honestly didn't notice a difference in it. I mean, Ash. The reason why I tested that was because I asked Ash. I was what the catch rate percentage is at 99 and at 100, and he said it like jumped from 89% catch rate to 90% catch rate. So it would have a theoretical small increase. And I did it a little bit, but I never ended up doing it long term. And I guess no, that didn't matter that I didn't do it. Do you guys think that this should be that this coding should be changed and that it should have an effect above 99?
I think
Yeah, I
it
think so.
probably should. It would make sense.
It's
Yeah.
really weird that it doesn't.
I think it's a very low priority issue.
Yeah,
I don't care
doubt
about
it'll
that.
ever
I
get
just care that
touched.
it's inconsistent, really. Why do invisible boosts? Why,
Yeah, it
why
is
are
very
they so
inconsistent.
good?
There's never. It should. It's just I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, with combat, when you pot up past 99s, you hit higher. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It should for consistency's sake.
Yeah, it seems a little odd. Sheeran, did you have anything on this one?
no, everyone else covered what I was going to say.
All right. Yeah, so just answer these in whatever order you'd like. And so our boy Ginge posted. Did anyone get an official count?
I tried, but the stats weren't working
216, I
anymore.
think it was.
216 memes yesterday. That is some.
Can you believe Ging's not on the meme council?
Yeah, who would have known?
He wasn't even in the top 10 Hexis Twitters.
Yeah.
Hey, he was certainly saving those for a rainy day. But all right, so he had 216 memes yesterday. You know, what were some of your favorite ones that he tweeted?
I couldn't find it, but there was one about there was something about Smiley saying like 2-time Skilling Cup champions. That was one of the better ones.
Ashy's TeamSpeak Avatar one was my favourite.
I liked the one where he just tweeted at Hexis. So the guy at the top does nothing. That was pretty good.
I like the when you open up the high scores and see rank 3, what's a kid doing here?
Yeah.
It's because Razor told me to go fuck myself after I laughed today.
Yeah, it's some good ones. Trickool, you said you know how long he was saving those memes up for. How long was
What
it?
was the summer season this year, which was like from April to it's just finishing up now?
So
No, it's
five,
like June to just finishing up now.
3-4 months of daily anime saving it up.
Yeah,
That's,
got a few mango memes, but they're all messy. There's like another 160 of them or something. It's all for another day.
All right. So yesterday I had a fun time with Ronan. I opened up so let's get my side of the story here. So I opened up YouTube, try to see some new shit that was up, and I saw Ronan uploaded a video saying it like he was streaming, and I went to go check it out, and I saw that he was PKing, and
And then what?
within
And then what happened, Randy?
and within
What happened after that?
On the edge of my seat.
and within
Go
30
on,
seconds
the
of
point
me
where-
watching him, I saw him die. So then I put in the chat, I said, "Hey man, you wanna fight me?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll fight you." So I
Did he?
yeah, hold on. I'm getting there. So I wanted to use an AGS, and I only had like 40k cash, so I had Ginge loan me an AGS.
Oh no.
And we fought one time, and I didn't have a telly, and he had like 2 food left, and I like ran 2 steps and walked into a safe zone. And then we went to fight a second time, and this motherfucker spec'd a 63 with an AGS, killed me, got my whip, I lost my rune pouch. Ronan PK'd me. I died to Ronan. Anyone feel free to I deserve all the hate coming my
No, we already
way for
knew.
that. 'Cause,
63 Kappa Smork in the chat.
Randalicious.
yeah. You see,
Trickool.
I'm more disappointed in myself than you, Randy, because the 30 minutes I wasn't on Twitter last night was the 30 minutes that this went down in. I literally missed it all happening.
yeah, I don't have a fucking clue how to PK, and he certainly has a little bit more of an idea than me. It's definitely good to get a little ass whooping just to remind you that you're not just to remind you that you're not perfect. So, he put me in my place, and won't be hearing me talk any shit about him for a while. All right, so next, they came out with Guinness World Records released a
Gamer edition.
gamer edition Guinness World Records, and Lynx Titan was given an award for having the most XP in old school RuneScape. Your boy, somehow, some way, was also fucking mentioned in the book just as like uses an example as to how far he was mentioned. So like, I thought it was pretty cool to see my name in the book, even though I'm more so just being used to show how shit I am. What do you guys think about like old school and Lynx being into the Guinness World Record book?
Does Lynx know?
I'm sure at this point he knows. Someone had to have went down to the pond
Everyone
and
will have
told
just
him.
fucking told him.
I'm sure
Yeah.
Razor told him.
Yeah, probably
I wonder if
did.
they had a record for like most hours on a video game, and if so, what it was. Like by a single
If it
person.
was, yeah, there should have been a category most hours spent on a game in a year. He would have won that one,
Oh
without a
yeah.
doubt.
And I wonder, like, does anybody have more than Drum Gun on a single game?
There'll be someone out there that's played Farmville like every day for like 20 hours.
Yeah, it's hard to verify other ones. Like RuneScapes is so easily verified.
Yeah, it is true. If it's like an idle game that you can just leave on your computer running, it'd be kind of hard to compare.
Yeah, I was very excited. I know that I really didn't deserve to be put into the Guinness World Records, but I'll take it. It was very nice. Got very excited. Caught me off guard. I bought two of the books. They're pretty.
Two?
Hold on now. They're pretty cheap. They're only $10 fucking. That's
Oh,
like
you're gonna give them to someone for Christmas, aren't you?
no. I've got the one book just to have,
Hung up on
and
it's in a plaque.
I'm still working on that one. I bought the second book, so yeah, I could cut out the page and kind of frame it with
You put it in your resume yet?
no, I have not put that on yet. My resume doesn't really need much improvement on it. It's looking pretty good. Motherfucker. All right. Anyone else have any other topics or any shit that you guys wanted to talk about? The podcast. All right. That's gonna do it for the 47th Hexis podcast, then, boys. Next podcast will be like October 8th or 9th.
We don't do the giveaways anymore.
We didn't announce anything last week for
We didn't have a hashtag, did we?
nah, we didn't.
Ah.
We could do one for this one if you guys got a hashtag that you're thinking of.
Pipe it up.
Pipe it up.
Yeah.
All right. To qualify for a 3-month OS Buddy Pro code giveaway, leave a comment on this video. You have to also be a subscriber on YouTube with the hashtag Pipe It Up. So, yeah, as I said, the next podcast will be October 8th or 9th. Follow me on Twitter at RandaliciousRS and follow the Hexis account at Hexis for more information on that. And that'll be 48. 50 is going to be a big one.
Fucking hell, nearly 50.
Yep. 2 years in, it's still going.
Bye.
Who'd have imagined? See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.